Well, good afternoon everybody who's tuning in to the live stream of the Scottish National Leagues Groups afternoon session of Friday. This is session 8 of a full 15 sessions over the 5 days. It's our pleasure to host you this afternoon to watch all the action. I'm Stuart Stevenson. I'm here with Duncan McKinnell, my colleague here to take you through all the racing. Up here in the commentary box, I must say it's a very sunny day in Aberdeen here, and we're looking forward to an action-packed programme. Up on the screen there you'll see the events that we've got coming up. 200 metre backstroke for boys, 50 freestyle boys, 100 breaststroke, 1500 free. I've actually got that the wrong way, I think. So it's 200 back, 400 free girls, 50 free boys, 50 free girls, 100 breaststroke boys, 200 fly girls, and 1500 metre freestyle for the boys.
So good afternoon, Stuart, and welcome. Great to be back again. As you say, it's a glorious day here in Aberdeen, and here we are looking at the sunshine out the windows as we prepare for this afternoon session. So it's the younger swimmers, of course, this afternoon. 2 age groups, 11 to 13 and 14. Some of the events will be heat declared winners, some will go through straight to finals, heats and finals. So the heat declared winners, 1500 freestyle of course, but also the girls 400 freestyle. In the 50 freestyle, it's just the 14-year-olds that are swimming. The 11 to 13 is not swimming 50s, and the 14-year-olds only swimming the 50 free, not swimming the other strokes in 50. So we're going to be ready to go in probably around 2 minutes' time, as we just prepare. Final checks from the pool staff here at Aberdeen Sports Village. There's our senior officials all ready to go. They've just been announcing the team points, and Glasgow have a substantial lead in that, and they got a great cheer from the Glasgow supporters when that was announced. So they're having a ball. At the moment it is Oranda in second, Perth in third, and East Lothian in fourth. That's your top 4. But if we focus now on the racing for this afternoon, as he said, it's the 200 backstroke for the boys up first, and there are 8 heats in this one. And there's your lineup for the first of those 8 heats. The swimmers not out on the blocks yet, so it'll be a little while before they get away. So what takes your fancy this afternoon, Stuart?
Just looking through the programme here. A few interesting events coming up. We've got the girls 400 free, but we're straight into the splash and dash of both the boys and girls 50 freestyle, so that's always interesting. But obviously our highlight is always the 1500s, Duncan, because we get to chat and talk everyone through the action for a very long period of time. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. What would be interesting is Conor Aspinall going for a double here in the 200 backstroke fastest entry time, and then again in the 1500 freestyle. So if he can muster that, the 14-year-old, that would be quite a performance. His teammate Zara Kravis will be looking for the result in the 400 freestyle. We've got Zayn Salah. The Hamilton Aquatics have sent a team over from Dubai, and he is the fastest qualifier for the 50 free. Dylan Mitchell, specialist breaststroker in the 100 breaststroke, so he'll be fast, I think. Zara Kravis could be back challenging for the 200 fly as well, so see what she does there. So lots and lots to look forward to. You can see the swimmers just about ready now, and I think we should be away shortly. My watch says 1:39, but the whistle goes for a 1:40 scheduled start, so I think by the time we press the starter signal, it will be 1:40 and we'll be bang on time.
Okay, so we've got 8 heats in this first event, and this is heat 1. 7 swimmers. Lane 1, Samuel Ruff from City of Glasgow. 2, Alfred Storer, South Aberdeenshire. 3, Archie Redfern, Lerwick. 4, Ollie Jeffords, Ren 96. 5, Hamish Tucker, Wanda Bass. 6, Oscar Muir, Cooper. and 7 Oscar Geary from Step Rock. That's our lineup for this 200 metre backstroke. A good start there in lane 1, Samuel Ruff, City Glasgow swimmer. And also over in lane 4, Ollie Jeffords, round 96. That's the top 2 at these early stages over the first quarter of the race. And it will be Samuel Ruff to turn first, time of 38.33.
So good start from lane 1 for Samuel Ruff, City of Glasgow swimmer. Said having a fantastic meet, City of Glasgow. So we'll see what Samuel can do to assist the cause. So he's there closest to the bottom of the camera and continues to lead down the second length from swimmer Alfred Storer in 2 and Ollie Jeffers in 4. Ollie now is pushing on and is pretty much with Samuel. Might just have the edge at the turn. It's going to be close between the two of them. No, it is still Samuel. 121.79 against 121.97 for Ollie, and Alfred Storer in 3rd. Coming out of the turn. It does look like maybe it is Ollie Jeffers, the Ren 96 swimmer, taking it on. Hard to tell from that angle, but now you get a better view, and well, it's still pretty close actually. And then a 3-way contest for 3rd with Archie Redfern. Still just, I think, in 3rd, but well, it's going to be a tight contest, I think, here between Samuel and Ollie as they come up to the final turn. Still Samuel leads, but can he hold it down the final 50?
Yeah, good turn there, good 50 metres there from Samuel. He's sped up in that previous 50. If you look at the splits, he's got quicker, and he's now, I would say, increasing his lead as he comes up to 25 to go. And Ollie Jeffords is not out of the picture though. He's could have a flurry here at the finish, and he is pushing up there, and it's going to be a very close finish to this race. Also coming up in lane 3, Archie Redfern. So it looks as if it might be Ollie Jeffords that comes through to take this one, and I think he's going to do it just on the touch here, and he is. I think it was Ollie Jeffords. We're seeing Samuel Ruff on the screen, but I don't think that's correct. We'll just wait for the official results to come through.
Yeah, it was all about hand placement, isn't it, as they went over that last stroke and where their hands were. And well, we'll wait for confirmation, and there you have it. You were right, Stuart, as always.
Of course, yeah. For once, you mean. So Ollie Jeffords takes that first heat. On to second heat.
So the line-up for Heat 2, Max Corker and South Ayrshire in 0, then 2 from Warrender, Finlay Duffin in 1 and Richie Saunders in 2. 3 is Andrew Patterson, City of Glasgow. 4, Logan Wright, University of Aberdeen Performance. Max Kelly of Geary in 5, Boyd Fernside, East Lothian in 6. Blair McCarroll, South Ayrshire in 7, Fraser Muir of Carnegie in 8, and Leighton Bonner of Inverclyde in 9. Always seems bizarre to talking about a 13-year-old being in the University of Aberdeen, but hey, it's of course a performance squad. It's an age group squad as well, encompassing most of the teams around the Aberdeen area, with the exception of Aberdeen Dolphin and Aberdeen ASC. So the other teams, Bridget Dawn, Cults Otters, Bonaccord, Dice, all combine to swim with the University of Aberdeen. So coming up to the 50, and it's lanes 2 and 9. Not much between them. Richie Saunders and Leighton Bonner, 37.67 through the turn.
That's by half a second quicker than the previous heat there. So yeah, now coming up as well in lane 0, Max Cochran, South Ayrshire swimmer, moving into the picture. And also in lane 5, Max Kelly from Geary. So it looks like he's just maybe increased his speed through the previous 50 as he comes up to the turn. It was around about 120 in the last heat, 119, so a second quicker. Max Kelly moves into the lead over Richie Saunders, and then Max Cochran, that's our 1-2-3. About a second, or about a second and a half in it between Max and Richie.
Max made a lot of progress in that second length. He'll be looking to keep that going here. But lane 2, Richie Saunders isn't too far away here. Looks like it's between these two. Yeah, the leader, Max Corcoran, just back a bit in lane 0. So through the 150 turn, Max Kelly looking pretty good for this, 2:00.25, and you can see his pace for that last 50 is a second faster than both Richie and Andrew behind him. Nice close-in shot there as he comes down the final length.
And Max's entry is 2:47 at this pace. He'll be taking a large chunk off that, maybe 5 seconds or so, but keeps his pace going.
And he is keeping the pace going. 15 to go now. The race is about second. That's getting really tight with Andrew Patterson challenging Richie Saunders, but we'll see Max coming through there as the sun dapples the pool, and he takes his win in 2:40.25. And it was a cracking last length from Andrew Patterson to get second there. 2:43.59 for him ahead of Richie Saunders. 2:44.37. All good PBs there. These swimmers were entered 2:47 up to 2:50, so all of these ones in through up to position 5, all comfortably faster than they were entered on. Nice stuff.
Yeah, some great swims there. As you say, Duncan, most of these swimmers did come underneath their entry time, so a few happy faces leaving the pool. So on to heat 3. From 0 through to 9, we've got Rory Vick, Wanda Bass, Zach Weatherhead, South Aberdeen, Cameron Beck, Inverclyde, Alejandro De Bella, Heart of Midlothian, Duncan Curry, University of Aberdeen Performance, Finlay Hiddleston, Dumfries, Luke Thompson, Bathgate, Thomas Okulich from Heart of Midlothian, Anatole Geises from Aberdeen Dolphin, and Austin McCall, also from Aberdeen Dolphin. So we'll see how this one goes. The times in this are ranging from 2:44 to 2:46 on entry. Very good start there in 2. Cameron Beck. Cameron Beck's the Inverclyde swimmer, 14-year-old. So we have one 12-year-old here, Thomas Okulich, over in lane 7 from Heart of Midlothian. And the rest are either 13 or 14. So over the first 50 there is Cameron Beck, 36.58. Very fast start there from Cameron.
Yeah, had a second faster than the previous heat, so good start. Well, the swimmer from Inverclyde, his entry time 2:45.20. We'll see whether other swimmers can come at him as this race progresses. Lane 4 is Duncan Curry from University of Aberdeen Performance. I think he has second place. From lane 6, Luke Thompson, the Bathgate swimmer, and lane 8, Anatole Gies of Aberdeen Dolphin. So let's see at the turn. Cameron Beck. Well, that lead has been cut quite significantly there. Just over a tenth now.
I was about to say Duncan had turned first there, but he didn't. It's still Cameron Beck. Very close though. Cameron Beck, Duncan Curry, and Luke Thompson. So 1, 2, 3. But the lead could swing from one to another across these 3 swimmers.
You see there's a dappled light across the pool because we've got roof window lights, skylights I suppose you call them, and the sun is shining through them, and that might be a bit of a distraction for the backstrokers because they'll have the sun in their eyes as they go through those areas. They'll have to just watch out for that, not so bad on the other strokes of course. But down this last length, this is a tight one. So the early leader, Cameron Beck, is looking to try and hold on to it, but pushing on is Duncan Curry in lane 4, just ahead of Luke Thompson in lane 6. So it's the white caps, and I think it is now Duncan Curry who has got the advantage here and will bring this one in by maybe about half a metre. and he does 2:40.73. So in the end, slower than the previous heat. So shows what a good swim that was from Max Kelly in the previous heat. 2:40.98 in second place for our long-time leader Cameron Beck.
Both the top two swimmers taking about 4 seconds off an entry, so very good swims.
Yep, and again we go all the way down to 6th place there inside their entry times.
On to heat 4 next. So we have Stephen Nastuks in 0 from Stranraer, Ewan Line 1 from Morpeth, Alexander McNiven in 2, Wander Bass, Josh Nichol in 3 from University of Aberdeen Performance, Lockie Bullock in 4 from Shetland, Lucas Rattray in 5 from Alford Otter, in 6 is Jasper Broom from South Ayrshire, 7 Ali Hattab from Fries, 8 Adam Selby Finns, and 9 Matthew Piatek from University of Aberdeen Performance. Start again from, it's actually lane 3 from University of Aberdeen, performance swimmer Josh Nichol, and also over in lane 9 Matthew Piatek. I don't know if all these times have come up on the board. We do have Josh Nichol on the board as a leader. Got a feeling Matthew's up with him.
Yeah, so Josh, I think that it does clearly have the lead now coming down the second length. He's had a good turn there, and that's propelled him to good pace down this second length. And he is pulling away from the line of swimmers behind him now. Maybe just edging up in lane 4 is the Shetlander Lockie Bullock. Is he going to turn second? He's certainly not going to turn first. That's Josh Nichol. 1:15.14.
Adam Selby's coming right up here in lane 8. He's come right through the field there over that last 50 metres. So he's now in second.
Yep, Adam in lane 8, so second from the top of your screen. So let's see if he can eat into Josh's lead. I'm not sure that's really happening. Josh still comfortably ahead, but it is Adam on his own in second, and then a line of 4 swimmers behind him through the 150. 1:56.47. So this is faster territory than we've seen. Just over the 40-second split. 41.3.
Very good swim here, and again, just off this turn over in lane 8, Adam Selby is up in the pace. So he's looking pretty good for second at the moment. Third is still go to one of 3 or 4 swimmers, but it will be Josh Nichol who comes through to take it. Josh has been out there from the start, and Josh looks strong under the flags towards the finish, and he's taken that one. 2:35.82, so that's 7 seconds off his entry. Great swim there. Really good finish as well from Adam Selby. 2:37.96. Again about 5 seconds under entry. Lockie Bullock in third. I think that was around about 2:40. Yeah, 2:40.64. Well, Lockie
showing nice backstroke skills there from our leaders there, including a good tidy finish. On to heat number 5. The line-up: Arthur Templeton, Aberdeen Dolphin in 0. Ewan Nielsen of Cumbernauld in 1. Jonathan McLean of East Lothian in 2. 3 is Murray Johnson of Ren 96. Nebby Singular of Highland in 4. Scott Brodie Inverclyde in 5. Alex Holmes goes in 6 for Glenrothes. 7 is Adam Calder of Broch. 8 Blair Herban of Inverclyde. And 9 Hamish Maxwell from South Ayrshire.
Starting 4 there, Nebby Singular, Highland team. He's looking very strong at the moment. Also way out there on the far side of your picture in lane 9, Hamish Maxwell. Hamish Maxwell looking good for second at this early stage as they go into the first turn, and coming through in 0 as well after Templeton, Aberdeen Dolphin swimmer, and he's just nudged into second. So Nebby Singular after Templeton, Blake Herban. So that's a 35.67 split there. Slightly quicker again than the previous heat. So Good fast start there from Nebby, and he's now maybe about half a body length up. Nearest swimmer, I think that is Arthur Templeton. So it's Nebby, Arthur, and then coming through strongly in lane 8, Blake Herdman from Inverclyde. So he's moving up through the field. He came from about 4th or 5th up to 2nd. So halfway point, it's 1:15.61, Nebby Singular. Arthur Templeton 1:16.45. So about a second between 1 and 2, and then Blake Herdman around about the same time, just a fraction behind.
So this is looking good for Nebby, another one who's had some very successful swims this weekend so far. This weekend, I suppose it's coming towards the weekend this week.
Feels like the weekend.
Weekend fun at the pool. Lane 8, Blake Herdman still pushing on. Lane 0, Arthur Templeton in 3rd. Then Hamish Maxwell. So all around the outside lanes going well, but still the leader in the centre lane. But only by less than a half a second, 1:56.46, Nebby. So Blake is on the case here, coming down the last length.
Nebby did very well in the 100, back up on the podium there, taking the silver in 13 age category. So he's looking strong here as well. We'll see what happens over in lane 8 there. There's a late charge from Blake Herdman, or if Nebby will hold on to this. And it looks as if Nebby will just about hold on to, I think it was around about 2:33. We'll just find out what that time is. Yes, it is 2:33.62 for Nebby, and then Blake in at 2:34.64.
So a couple of seconds faster than the previous heat, and another good PB. These PBs coming through thick and fast in this 200 backstroke, which is lovely to see.
Absolutely. Great finish there from Hamish Maxwell, who came storming through at the finish there to take 3rd place. 2:37. So we move on to heat 6. In lane 0, Elliot Stephen from Faulthouse. 1, Tom Massey, Holdford Otters. 2, Adam Merrick, Cumbernauld. 3, Fraser van der Meulen from Stirling. 4, Aaron Drake, Wander Baths. 5, Ethan Collins, Bills Hill. 6, Kyle Mossman, City of Glasgow. 7, Sky Kobon Chai from University of Aberdeen Performance. 8, Cole Murphy, City of Glasgow. And 9, Tyler Spalding from Carnegie. And we'll just get underway in a second. There's a slight delay just at the start of this race. So again, mixture, well, it's actually mostly 14-year-olds in this one. We've got Sky in lane 7, 13, the other boys are 14. And a very good start there in lane 5, Ethan Collins, Bell Sill swimmer, the red cap. Also over here, second from the camera in lane 1, Tom Massey. Going very well over this initial period of the race, and coming through again in the red cap in lane 4 of Warrender, Aaron Drake. So pretty bunched up between about 4 swimmers at the moment. Ethan Collins just slightly quicker, 32.81.
So this is the first of the 3 circle seeded heats. Just 400 between Ethan and Aaron in the centre lanes now. Lanes 4 and 5, both red caps, 1 Bells Hill, 1 Warrender. So the last 3 heats get seeded differently with going through. So the fastest goes into the last heat in lane 4, the second fastest goes into lane 4 in the second last heat, and so on. You fill up the pool. So in theory it should be a nice arrowhead. At the moment there's a fairly blunt arrow as the 2 swimmers side by side. Aaron Drake just touching it, but not by much at all.
Yeah, but a second and a half between these 2 on entry. So Aaron Drake a 2:24.3, Ethan Collins 2:25.9. And looking good as well at the moment, Fraser van der Meulen, the white cap from Stirling. And over there in lane 6, Kyle Mossman, City of Glasgow. He's just in 4th at the moment, trying to fight his way to 3rd spot.
And that was a big third 50 from Aaron Drake. It's a 38.10 against Ethan's 38.8, so 7/10 picked onto the lead in that length, so he's looking pretty secure for this now. His entry time, 2:24. He was bronze medalist last year, silver in both the Scottish Summer Meet and East District age groups. So he will be looking to post a good time here and get a good lane for tonight's final. 2:24.05, so a quarter of a second inside his entry time. So I think he'll be pleased enough with that, with the final to come. 2:25.85, I'm sure Ethan will be in that final with that time. He's also just nudges inside his entry time. And Kyle Mossman in third, 2:29.67 by 100th from Fraser van der Molen. I wonder if that could be important in the lineup at the end, that 100th of a second. We'll keep an eye on that when we get the summary of the results at the end of the event.
Sometimes small margins that make all the difference.
So in the Heat 7 we have Glenn Liversedge of South Aberdeenshire in 0, Lewis Maxwell Pauls of Warrender in 1, Fergus Reid of Geary in 2, Callum Mackenzie of Perth City in 3, Nikolai Cisnet, City of Glasgow in 4, Edward Hodgson of Newcastle Swim Team in 5, Conan Swinney of Gateshead and Wickham in 6, Owen Bicken of South Aberdeenshire in 7, Kai Fern of Aberdeen Dolphin in 8, and Dean Binney of North Ayrshire in lane 9. So just through the turn, it is Nikolai Cisnet, 33.99, so not as fast as the previous heat at the 50. They did go off pretty fast early on. Particular there, it was Ethan Collins that was off to the fast start before Aaron Drake got the better of him. This time it's lanes 3 and 4. Perth's Callum Mackenzie and Glasgow's Nikolai Cisnet. Is it going to be Callum at the halfway mark? It's close. Let's see as they go through the turn. Very little to choose between them, but it is Callum by a 10th, 1:10.53. Still behind the pace from the previous heat. 36 threes and 36 sixes. So these two, and also Edward Hodgson in the black cap there in lane 5. He's not too far away either. So coming up to the 150, pretty much stroke for stroke between Callum and Nikolai. Edward just, well, no more than a metre behind them. So these three coming up to the final turn. This is close, Stuart.
Very close, yeah. So Nikolai swimming is in the 13-year-old category, and Callum and Edward in 14. It's a really close battle in this heat. All the boys spurring each other on. It looks as if it might just be Callum now, possibly just edging ahead. As we come towards the finish, it's going to be very close between Callum and Nikolai. I think Callum possibly just about, I don't know, half a metre up. It's difficult to tell from this angle, and he is just stretching forward as he reaches the end, and he takes that one. 2:23.81. Nikolai 2:24.43. Edward Hodgson 2:25.41. So top three there, all underneath their entries.
Interesting that one, because they were behind the pace of the previous heat all the way through until that last 50, when they ended up a quarter of a second ahead of it. So there was a turnaround of about a second and 3/4 down that last length. Big difference.
Yeah, it always makes a difference when you're competing against the person lane next to you. I'm thinking backstroke as well. It's difficult to see around you, isn't it? Probably you can probably only see the lane next to you and nothing else. So final heat here. 0 Angus Woods, Kintyre. 1 Archie Lorimer, Clitheroe. 2 Dexter Suter from Lerwick. 3 James Kilpatrick, Carnegie. 4 Connor Aspinall, East Lothian. 5 Cameron Haddle, Hamilton. 6 Finlay Bruce, Perth City. 7 Daniel Henry, City of Glasgow. 8 Max Miller, Weston Barton, and 9 Struan Payton from University of Aberdeen Performance. Good start in 4. That's Connor Aspinall, East Lothian swimmer. Also going well over in 6 is Finlay Bruce from Perth. And Finlay Bruce is slightly ahead, 32.83. Around about the same as the previous heat, quite close to, I think.
Yep, so he's off to a good start. Conor Aspinall just behind him. As it is Perth swimmer Finlay Bruce with the advantage. 2:28 entry time, did it here at North District age groups. He was only 9th in there, but I suspect he was going, they have dual age groups at the North District, so I suspect he was going with swimmers older than him. 1:07.74, and that now is the fastest halfway split we've seen. Conor about a 2 3/4 behind.
Very good open 100 there. And he's getting stronger and stronger, stretching away here. So Finlay 2:28.53 entry. It's going to, keeps going at this rate, he'll be well underneath that time. For second at the moment, it is Cameron Haddo, and he's just ahead of James Kilpatrick.
I think it's actually Conor Aspinall in second.
Oh, sorry, Conor Aspinall.
Yep. James Kilpatrick third. So as we come down, though, Finlay Bruce well clear, about 4.5 seconds clear. So as you said, Stuart, this is a masterclass from the Perth swimmer. It's getting pretty tight for second. Conor Aspinall and James Kilpatrick, East Lothian and Carnegie, and they are just about stroke for stroke now. But look at the Perth swimmer go. Finlay Bruce entered 2:28.53. That is going to be history. What a swim. 2:18.75. Absolutely, I think the technical phrase is murderlises his time. 2:18.75 then. James Kilpatrick with a very strong last 50. You can see that 35.24. He was the fastest down that last length. So he takes second ahead of Conor Aspinall. 2:24.11 and 2:24.65. Imagine we'll see all of those three in the final later on. Here's your summary. So Finlay Bruce with that superb time. Then you see the top 10 and sort out the 13-year-olds from that. And you'll get your 10 finalists. We will try and confirm who the finalists are shortly in each of the age groups, but certainly the top 10 were guaranteed spots in the final.
Yeah, 10-second PB there from Finlay. You don't often see that.
Yeah, and we do now have those finalists, so I can confirm that for the 12-13s, all 13-year-olds this year: Nikolai Cisnet, Sky Kalbunche, Nebi Sengula, Blake Herbman, Angus Woods, Adam Selby, Alex Holmes, Murray Johnson, Max Kelly and Lockie Bullock. And the reserves: Luke Thompson and Ewan Line. And for the 14-year-olds rather, it is Finlay Bruce, Callum McKenzie, Aaron Drake, James Kilpatrick, Conor Aspinall, Edward Hodgson, Ethan Collins, Cameron Haddo, Daniel Hendry and Colin Swinney. And the reserves: Kyle Mossman and Fraser van der Meulen. They were the ones with the 100th difference we were talking about, so that makes them first and second reserve.
These are only reserve positions that are split by, unless someone pulls out the final. Okay, we're off with the next event. This is the girls' 400 metre freestyle, and there are 6 heats in this one. So in this heat 1, lane 0 Rebecca Reid, Wanda Bass; 1 Katie Ray Geary; 2 Imogen Jarrett, Dundee City Aquatics; 3 Iris Blair, Finns; 4 Ruby McInnes from North Ayrshire; 5 Maya Leon from Hythen; 6 Rosie Stutchfield, Wanda Bass; 7 Thea Williamson, Lerwick; 8 Sky Petrie, Monifieth; and 9 Lucy Mitchell from Geary.
Great start in lane 2 from the Dundee City Aquatic swimmer Imogen Jarrett. So she is taking them down to the 100 with a decent lead here. Imogen did her time here at North District age groups, Midlands joining with the North here for 2 rounds of age groups. Chance to swim long course with the Dundee pool closed at the moment. So Imogen has a lead of about 1.3 from Warrender's Rebecca Reid in lane 0. See her there, close to the camera as we focus there on the swimmers on the gallery side of the pool. So a fairly decent sized gallery if you've not been to Aberdeen Sports Village. Very busy this afternoon, absolutely packed gallery. And then around the pool, the athletes squeeze their way in. They also have a chance to swim down in the diving pool, which is just a few yards away from this pool. Lovely facility. And it's a 6 by 25 pool when it's not being used for diving. And they also, a lot of them are camping over there, just coming into the competition pool when they're competing. Gives them a chance to get away from the atmosphere of competition and really chill a little bit. So we're coming to halfway, and it is lane 4 now, so a bit of a change in the second 100. Ruby McInnes, North Ayrshire swimmer, leads through into the second half.
Yeah, Ruby is the quickest on entry here, 5:18.50. So she just hung back a little bit over the first 100 and then started to push her way through, and now she's taken a healthy lead here. And she's really pushing on over this 50. And still battling out for second are lanes 0 and 1. So that's Rebecca Reid, Katie Ray. And a very strong looking Ruby McInnes. It's pretty close now. I think it's maybe just Katie. Yeah, Katie in second. Iris Blair in third. Iris is sped up somewhat in that previous 50, into third place.
It's interesting looking at those splits for the 50s with 39s for Ruby leading the way, and Iris, and then the swimmer who is actually in second place at the turn, Katie Ray, was quite a bit slower, and you can see as a result of that Iris Blair now is the one that's moving into second place. But also up in lane 7, Thea Williamson, the Lerwick swimmer, is in that contest for second, but still quite a long way behind leader Ruby. 3:52.06 for her through the 300. Nice shot there of her working away.
Interesting breathing pattern. I thought she was breathing every 3, but sometimes goes to 2. Sometimes switching sides. So yeah, moving up there is Iris Blair. Maybe just find out from the splits, but looks like she has gained a little bit of ground there over the previous 50. So 40.01 split from Ruby, 39.48. So a little bit quicker there, about half a second or so.
Yeah, it doesn't look likely it's going to be enough to get anywhere close to Ruby though. So the North Ayrshire swimmer looking to get inside her 5:18 entry time, and I think she'll do that comfortably. She's going to take this by 5 or 6 metres, with Iris Blair clear in second, and looks like lane 7 Thea Williamson holding on to third in what's been much more competitive affair. But here comes Ruby, 5:08.25, 10 seconds inside her entry time.
Yeah, great swim.
Iris Blair 5:13.09, so she's got a big improvement as well, about 7.5 seconds. And Thea Williamson in 5:16, taking third, 5 seconds inside her entry time.
Great to see these girls all taking good chunks of time off on their entry. As we move on to Heat 2. So in 0, Charlotte Craig, Ren 96, 1 Hayden Holmes best, 2 Lily Mundell, Artemy Lothian, 3 Freya Keeling, Carnegie, 4 Lauren Dunlop from Dumfries, 5 Tyler Page Watson from Highland, 6 Casey Dixon, South Lanarkshire, 7 Lucy Fleming, East Lothian, 8 Eva Gordon, City of Glasgow, and 9 Amy Dobson from Kingston. What a start there in lane 2. Lily Mundell, Hearty Midlothian swimmer, really off the blocks with no hesitation whatsoever. And moving up now as well in lane 5, Tyler Page Watson, or maybe just Tyler Watson we'll call her, from Highland.
Yeah, great start from Lily, the Hart swimmer, East District Age Group champion in this event. That was swum short course before Christmas, quite a while ago. And there you can see her making her way down the second length. And that puts her lead into context. Lane 5 is Tyler Watson, and she's got second place from Amy Dobson, maybe, I don't know, it's tight for third. No doubt about the leader though. Lily 108.96, Tyler 110.46. In fact, it's Hayden Holmes from lane 1 just touching third. But very little in it in the places 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 really.
I wonder if she's taking it a bit hard here, but you know, I'm sure it's all part of the plan. We'll find out.
Yeah, I have trust in the Hearts coaching team that they'll have given good guidance to Lily as to how to run this. And she's around 4 meters clear at the moment, so we'll keep an eye on the gaps and on the relative pacing. So 38.5 and 40.4, so she's continuing to pace a lot faster than the others. 147.48 at the 150. It really is about a race for second here. Still Tyler Watson holding second place in lane 5. So we'll see if she can keep that as we see Lily coming towards us.
It's a great shot that, seeing them head on, coming towards the camera.
And there is our cameraman who gave us that shot. As we turn halfway, 2:26.34, nearly 7 seconds faster than the first heat at the halfway mark, and 38.8 that time, so still pacing faster, but maybe not by quite as much as she was earlier. Tyler Watson still holding second, but coming under maybe a little bit of pressure from Lauren Dunlop in lane 4. In fact, coming under quite a lot of pressure now. So it's Lauren, perhaps, the free swimmer, has got the momentum going in that contest. It's going to be a close one. The north and the southwest of the country battling each other. But the Edinburgh swimmer, Lily Mundell, 3:04.85. So again, looking at the pacing, still faster than anybody else. So she is building a lead with every length. It does look like Lauren Dunlop now has just gone past Tyler Watson. So those two, second and third, but Tyler will be just struggling now, and the others are coming at her. As we come to the 300, Lily Mundell still with the big lead.
And Lauren Dunlop's really made a move there between 200 and 300. She's moved into clear second place now. Not too far off the pacing of her leader, Lily Mundell. But she is now well clear, and it's just a case of what time, what margin she'll win this race by. So the first heat winning time there was 5:08.25. And Lily's entry is 5:13.5, so
yeah, I think she's going to be pretty close to 5 minutes here, probably just over. We'll see what sort of sprint she can muster. That was a 37.1 there, so 4:21. So actually, if you add 37 to 4:21, you're under 5 minutes. So she's already picked up the pace in that penultimate length, and I think she's going to go comfortably under the 5 minutes here. There's a cracking race here for second because Tyler Watson has come right back. This is brave from the Highland swimmer. It looked like she was being well beaten by Lauren Dunlop, but now she is in a race with her. But we focus on the leader, Lily Mundell. Look at this swim, beautiful stuff, 4:57.45. So our predictions about under 5 minutes certainly come true. Now who's going to get second? I think it is just going to be Lauren Dunlop, but Tyler Watson drove hard all the way, and there was just 200ths in it at the end, both in 5:06s, both comfortably inside their entry times. So Tyler and Lauren both entered on 5:11, so 5 seconds taken off that. So you have to be happy with that. Good swim from Charlotte Craig from the outside lane. She was entered 5:16, takes that down to 5:11. So good swim from the Wren swimmer as well. But Lily Mundell, the clear winner there, 4:57.45. See whether that can be matched in this heat that's to come.
Yeah, none of the swimmers in the heat coming up have got entries under the 5 minutes. The quickest 5:07.
But we've seen plenty of big PBs, so who's to say that we'll not get one here? The lineup: Hannah McCarty of Inverclyde in 0, Ara Gill of Carnegie in 1, Hayley Melrose of Inverclyde in 2, Molly Irvin-Watson of Dumfries in 3, Amelia Burrell of Glenrothes in 4, Eva Smith of University of Aberdeen in 5, Kirsty Seavright of East Lothian in 6, Ava Marco also of East Lothian in 7, Daisy Gilday of City of Glasgow in 8, and Leonie Bebra of Incas in lane 9.
Eva Marco had a good start there, over in lane 7, 32.45. Quickest by a fraction over Daisy Gilday.
Ava Marco does have a little bit of a history of going out fast in events, so we'll see whether she can sustain it. Certainly off to a strong first 100. Amelia Burrell now, I think, well, certainly up there, challenging for second, if not in second. Daisy, as you said, in lane 8 is also up there, so in lane 6 is Kirsty Seavright. Ava Marco holding the lead. Amelia Burrell now is in second, only 3/10 behind. 109.71 is not as fast as Lily Mundell's split, about 8/10 back on that.
Yeah, Lily really went out and took that one on, didn't she? So about a second quicker than this heat so far, but we'll see how this progresses.
Yeah, she took it out fast and then finished it off faster.
Absolutely.
That's the way to do it.
Looks like Daisy Gilday has now moved up into pole position here. And it's Daisy and Amelia and Ava just dropped back to third. So she's just slowed up a little bit over that last 50 metres. Around about 38.5 or so, just over. And the 50 pacing there from swimmer at the front, Daisy. So Daisy is a 13-year-old from City of Glasgow. And in lane 4, Amelia Burrell, also 13 from Glenrothes, and Nora McCarty in 0, 13, and the rest are 14. So they'll be swimming in different age categories. That was a very strong 100 there. Amelia Burrell in the lead. So Amelia swimming from Glenrothes. So 5:07.90 is Amelia's entry time. It's a good contest at the front here. We'll look over to Daisy and lane 8 now as well.
Yeah, Amelia still a little bit back on Lily Mundell's split. She was second behind Lily Mundell in East District age group, so although she had a faster entry time for this one, when they've gone head to head, it was Lily that beat her. But look at this, there's nothing to choose between Daisy and Amelia. 1600s as they go through 250. Suddenly these two now well clear, the two 13-year-olds leading all the 14-year-olds in this heat by a substantial margin. I think best of the rest in lane 7 is Ava Marco, the early leader. And she has Leonie Bebra not far away from her, and see they're down in lane 0 in the white cap, Honor McCarty. And let's see at the front which of those 13-year-olds leads. Really close. 1/100th of a second, Daisy has it.
Honor McCarty's really stepped up the pace here in lane 0. So she's taken almost a second off the other two in front of her in that previous 50 metres. So she's moving up the gears now. Oh yeah, really close at the front there.
Yeah, let's see whether Honor can do this. She has the benefit of that extra year on the two swimmers in front of her, but she's got a lot of ground to make up still. So we come up to the final turn, and there's still absolutely nothing in it between Daisy and Amelia. This time it's Amelia with the touch. It's a 10th this time. Siona's time 4:28, so she's still some 4 seconds back, so she's not going to make that up in the last length. So it really is about a race between the two 13-year-olds, and it's looking good for the Glenrothes swimmer. So Amelia, I think, has this one well in hand now. So her entry time 5:07.9, so we saw a sub 5 minutes from Lily Mundell. Can she sneak under the 5 minutes? It's going to be close. I think it may just slide over into 5 minutes. 5:00.59. So still a nice 7-second improvement on her entry time. Daisy second, 5:03.15, and Honor in third, 5:04.73 for her. It's a good tight contest there between Amelia and Daisy, but just that last 50, you can see that 36.2 and 38.6. So Amelia just had that back end speed that made all the difference.
Yeah, she did. Very impressive, the race plan's been executed there for these young swimmers. Yeah. Was a cracking finish there by Amelia. So just a fraction over the 5 minutes, but still a great swim. Well underneath entry time as we move on to heat 4. So lane 0 we have Evie Chan, North Ayrshire. 1 Abby Coventry, Morpeth. 2 Annabella Scatterty from Aberdeen Dolphin. 3 Lexi Lamont, Aberdeen. 4 Riley McIntosh, Dundee City Aquatics. 5 Katie Cooper, Warnder Bass. 6 Josie Grimes, Warnder Bass. 7 Amy Rowell, City of Glasgow. 8 Lucy Hunter, Motherwell. And 9 Isla Whitten from East Lothian. Good start. Lane 3 from Lexi Lamont, Aberdeen swimmer. 32.09. I think that's the quickest we've had, just by a fraction, over the first 50 metres. Riley McIntosh in second. And Annabella in third.
Yeah, shaping up to be a close one, this. Lexi Lamont from Aberdeen did her time at North District age groups here. And she is going to have the lead, I think, maybe by a metre or so. Check it out, 1:08.69. So that is narrowly the fastest 100 split as well, as being the fastest 50 split. 36.6 you can see there. 36.7 Riley in the pink of Dundee City Aquatics, going in lane 4. So in this one, swimmers in the bottom of your screen, Evie Chan and Abby Coventry, both in the 11 to 13 age group, as is Amy Rowell in lane 7. The others all in the 14 age group. But it is Lexi Lamont who's just building a lead now. You can see there 38.3 against 39.0. Abby Coventry with a good third length there. So she's getting closer to Riley now.
Lexi's still looking strong at this stage. She says she's just building that lead with each length. And just moving clear now of Riley McIntosh and the pink cap inside her. Coming up well in 1, Abby Coventry, Morpeth swimmer. I think Abby's potentially moving into second place at the halfway mark. Well, she's not quite. Still Riley McIntosh by about half a second over Abby Coventry. So Lexi Lamont again gaining about half a second there over Riley, but on about the same pacing as Abby Coventry.
So most of the action down at the bottom of your screen, led by Alexi, still in lane 3. Nobody really mounting an attack on her. The exception to the bottom of the screen action is Lucy Hunter of Motherwell and Wishaw in lane 8. But the 1-2 now, Lexi Lamont, and now Abby Coventry has moved up into second. Just over a second behind Lexi, so pacing there about 7/10 faster, so she could be just about on terms by the time they get to the other end of the pool if she can keep that differential going. See them all coming towards the camera.
Evie Chan looking strong now, and Zero as well. She's coming into the picture. She's come right through, almost caught up with Abby Coventry, and it's all bunching up at the front now.
And also lane 8, Lucy Hunter not far away. So you can see there, 4 swimmers within a second of each other. Lexi still leads, 3:45.75. Her pace has dropped though. She was ahead of the previous heat. She's now behind Lily Mandel's pace. And look at this, 4-way contest. And, well, you called it, Stuart, Evie Chan in lane 0.
Yeah, she's looking good. She's coming right through in the second half of the race and just upped her pace with each length. And she comes up to the final turn. I think she will turn first. Just a fraction ahead of Lucy Hunter. Evie Chan, 37.62. So, yeah, but a second quicker than Abby Coventry there to gain that lead. Lucy Hunter also going really well. So these swimmers probably can't really see each other, but they're the two in front. Evie Chan looking good at the moment, and Lucy Hunter at the far side also going strong, but Evie Chan is just in the lead. I think Evie Chan might just about hold on to this. She looks as if she's got the arms and the legs to do that. Oh, Lucy Hunter now coming through. Will Lucy be able to catch and overtake? And Lucy's taking it. Wow. 35.35. What a fast final 50 metres there from Lucy Hunter to come and take that one. Evie Chan in second and Abby Coventry in third. What a finish there.
Well, at least Evie Chan will be able to remember what her time was.
Yes.
5 minutes. Exactly. But what a finish there from both those girls, actually. Lucy, though, just edging it. 4:59.95. 7.5 second improvement. 2 more heats to go. Remember, this is a heat to climb winner event, so no finals here. Fastest wins. So the lineup for heat number 5, we have Katie Gillies of Renfrew Baths in 0, Daisy McInnes of City of Glasgow in 1, Olivia Russell of Cumbernauld in 2, Caitlin Morton of City of Glasgow in 3, Ava Ross, City of Glasgow in 4, Amber Hinton of Dumfries in 5, Lisa McNair of First in 6, and then 3 more from City of Glasgow, Abigail Crawford in 7, Alice Harper in 8, Anna Campbell in lane 9. And it's Anna Campbell starting very strongly in lane 9. If you were watching yesterday and you saw the relays, you'd have seen a fantastic anchor leg from Caitlin Morton for City of Glasgow just to come through and take the win. So it's interesting to see what she could do on this individual 400 going in lane 3. She's in the pack at the moment, and it's quite an extensive pack. The people just at the front of it, maybe lane 4, Ava Ross, and still up there, lane 9, Anna Campbell. Also lane 5, Amber Hinton. It's Anna Campbell still in lane 9, still leading the way, 109.94. So we've had a number of 108s. So this isn't particularly fast so far. Will they wind it up?
Yeah, 6 City of Glasgow swimmers in this one, so the rest might feel like imposters in a Glasgow training session. But yeah, it's difficult to tell which way this is going to go at the moment. We've got another swimmer taking the lead here in lane 5, Amber Hinton. No, sorry, Alice Harper. I was distracted by the middle lanes there. It's actually Alice Harper right over in lane 8 there in the lead. So Alice and Anna Campbell next to each other having their own little race there over in lanes 8 and 9. But the middle lane's also going well. So Ava Ross, Amber Hinton. So quickest entry here is just over the 5 minutes. So it's Ava Ross, 5:01.63. We've already seen a couple of swimmers so far in this event dip below the 5 minutes. But yeah, good turn there, and now stretching out in lane 8, Alice Harper. And it looks as if she's just upping the pace and trying to move through the gears.
So the pace has moved out there now, pretty much on a par with the previous heat, 2:26.15. and slightly faster than any of the others that we've seen. Still though, Lily Mundell's time from way back, heat 2, the fastest, certainly the fastest 13-year-old. So there are a number of 13-year-olds in this one, and that's it as far as 13-year-olds are concerned. No more to come in the final heat. So looking good. Alice Harper with a 5:05.70 entry time. She has had a very good second 100 here. So I could tell you that the split for Lily Mundell was 2:26.34 at the halfway mark and 3:44 at the 300. And so going through the 300 here, this is faster, 3:40.31. So at the moment, Alice Harper notionally is leading the 13-year-old race by around 3.5 seconds.
The two 13-year-olds out in front, but yeah, it does look as if Alice Harper is just securing that lead a little bit more with every 50 metres that goes in. And is Amber Hinton being drawn in a little bit by Caitlin Morton, City of Glasgow, so run 3.
So Amber Hinton also a 13-year-old, so she'll also be eyeing that time from Lily Mundell, 4:57.45. Try and pick up the silver medal, because it certainly looks like Alice Harper is going to win gold in the 11 to 13 age group. So the time she's got to beat 4:57.45. Surely she's going to do that. The only question is whether Amber Hinton can do it as well. So here she comes, Alice Harper of City of Glasgow, entry time 5:05.70, demolishes that, takes the win, 4:53.48. So she will take gold in the 11:13, 4:56.93. That was faster by half a second from Lily Mundell. So she'll take silver, Lily will take the bronze. So two good swims from those two youngsters, showing the 14-year-olds how it's done in that heat. 4:53.48, 4:56.93. So they will be gold and silver in the 13 age group, with an all 14-year-old heat to come to finish off this 400 freestyle.
Yeah, the girls definitely knew it was a final, didn't they? Great swim there. 12 seconds off entry there from Alice, so fantastic. And she'll take that gold medal. As we go into the final heat, full of 14-year-olds. So lane 0, Lucy Hall, East Lothian. 1, Gina Wren, City of Glasgow. 2, Kate Nolan, Wallander Baths. 3, Amy Aitken from University of Aberdeen Performance. 4, Zara Kravich from East Lothian. 5, Evie Mackey, South Lanarkshire. 6, Sadie Llewellyn from Hamilton. 7, Olivia Caldwell, City of Glasgow. 8, Ella Cunningham, City of Glasgow. 9, Lacey Padfield from Redditch. Quickest entry is Zara Kravich from East Lothian, 4:41.40. The quickest over the first 50 there, Sadie Llewellyn.
So you'd certainly expect the 3 14-year-old medalists to come from this heat. They certainly have to go comfortably under 5 minutes to do that, but they've all but 2 of them have got sub 5 minute entry times. Not too much in it as we come to the 100, lanes 3 and 5. Emmy Aitken and Evie Mackey turning together with Zara Kravis in between them, just a little bit behind. 1:05.12 is quite a bit faster than anything we've seen, and a quarter of a second lead for Evie Mackey. Evie certainly has had a terrific set of results, including a victory in the 1500 if I remember rightly. 3 swimmers behind her, and Zara Kravis maybe just edging into second place now, along with Emmy Aitken and Sadie Llewellyn. Just behind Sadie as well we have Kate Nolan, so call it 5 swimmers now in the hunt here. It looks like it's Zara Kravis who's moved through in the second 100.
Zara has got that turn of pace. winner of the 100 freestyle. So she has got good raw pace there, and she looks as if she's making a move here. And is really up the pace over this previous 50. See what the splits are. So 34.22 over 36.14. It's almost 2 seconds quicker than Evie Mackey over that last 50 metres. So she's really pushing forward now to secure this one, if she can. Very impressive.
Certainly, I think pacing well inside her 4:41 entry time here. And building this lead still. So we saw that 2-second differential in the 50 split in the last one. What's it going to be this time? So 34.7 for Zara, 36.5, so nearly 2 seconds again. And that gap is just growing and growing now. 3.5 seconds it's up to as we focus in on Zara. Really becoming an exceptional young athlete. Of course, the Kravis family. She is the second after Stefan, and well, is she going to be even better than Stefan? Well, you wouldn't say no.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a bit of sibling rivalry that goes on there as well. Thankfully, not in the same events. But yeah, she's looking very impressive here. Well clear now. And into a very secure second place, Evie Mackey. Still, third might still be up for grabs. I'm trying to see who's sitting behind there. There's no doubt about who's going to take this, even with a full 50 metres to go. Zara Kravic, so we'll see what time she can post. 4 minutes 65 into the final turn. About 6 seconds ahead of Evie Mackey. And in third place, I think that was Emmy Aitken.
So it looks like her pace has dropped a little bit in that last 100, but it's getting the urge on from her teammates there in that sort of aqua-coloured tops there that they're using. There's Jamie Ward, her coach, as they come down towards the finish. So it is going to be gold for East Lothian Zara Kravis by a considerable margin. 4:34.82, takes 6.5 seconds off her entry time, much faster than anybody else. Evie Mackey, a good swim from her as well. She's inside her entry time, 4:42.86. And it's Emmy Aitken, 4:46.35. So all those 3 times faster than the previous heat. So they will be our 1, 2, 3. Went with the seeding. Kate Nolan just behind Emmy Aitken, so she wasn't far away from a medal. And Sadie Llewellyn in 5th. Just wait for that to be confirmed. There you have it.
Very close for third there with that finish from Kate.
And a good number of swimmers. Some of those swimmers that were entered over the 5 minutes ducking under there, so that's also good. So from 400 freestyle, we go down distance to 50 freestyle. It's just the 14-year-olds in this one. We've decided this year that the 11 to 13s will not swim the 50s, focus on the longer events for them, more aerobic events. The 14s just get a taste of the 50s with the 50 free, but they don't swim the other strokes. So this is their chance in the 50 freestyle. So we should see some pretty fast swimming here.
Everyone in the first heat just slightly over the 30 seconds, so we'll see if any of these swimmers can break that 30-second barrier. So in the first heat, from lane 0 through to 9, we have Glenn Liversidge, Anatole Geizes, Cameron McMillan, Callum Struzik, Theo Steriker, Cole Murphy, Josh Nichol, Ewan Nielsen, Finlay McDonald and Scott Brodie. And that's your swimmers from 0 to 9 closest, furthest away on camera. As we just wait for these swimmers to take to the blocks.
And just a little bit of prep to do as we change ends for the start, make sure the starting equipment's functioning properly at the other end of the pool. And once that's done, we'll get things underway. It looks like maybe things are not quite right at the moment, so everybody having a wee look, see what the issue is. So it's just a little bit of pause before we go into this 50. Just a word about the 400 freestyle that you just had. We'll be having the presentation for that after these 50 freestyles. We've got the boys up and then the girls. Then we'll have that presentation before we go to 100 breaststroke for the boys, 200 butterfly, and we finish off with 1500 freestyle for the boys, 2 heats. So we're getting some noises coming out the starting system now, so hopefully that's a good sign. And we got a 0.0 come up on our screen. That's a good sign as well, I think. But they're still looking a bit quizzically at the starting equipment, so maybe not.
Just a little nervous delay for the guys down there.
Yeah, must be horrible. They've got themselves all psyched up, ready to go, and then they're just standing there. The adrenaline. Well, hopefully they can just keep it going, keep the focus, don't get distracted by what's happening around the pool. So it does look like we've got a bit of an issue, so I think the swimmers will probably be told to just relax and maybe put their shirts on. They've not been told that yet. But we are being advised that there is a little bit of an issue with the starting equipment down at the end. So
the 50s, Duncan. So these are these a qualifier for the summer meets in this age group, or it's got to be the hundreds that qualify for this event as well?
Oh.
Is that controversial?
That's too difficult a question
Yeah,
for me.
yeah.
I don't know the answer to that. I've not stayed close enough to the rules.
Yeah.
There's Mr. Tom Seavright looking very scholarly there on your right-hand side, Fieldhouse Penguins head coach. So has he got any swimmers going in this first heat? No, he doesn't.
No. He's got someone in the second.
Right, so he's
Lucas Ennis.
getting himself ready for that. Yeah. Uncle Tom, we call him. There he is. There's Jordan Young with a serious face on. He's certainly one of the people responsible for the timing system here, and he looked very serious going down the pool there. So let's hope that we don't have a protracted delay here. You can see the swimmers putting their shirts back on. So just relax, everybody. Apologies for this delay. They will get it sorted, I'm sure, just as quickly as they can. Everybody there, you can see just how full the gallery is. There are a few empty seats there, but not too many. There's everybody looking down intently. And I'm sure they'll be waiting patiently to... I suppose they could change ends, couldn't they? And they could... they'd have to then decant the officials up to man the watches at the other end, but you could do that, I would have thought.
That'll be the backup plan, possibly, if this doesn't work.
But I guess it looked like they were dismantling the start equipment at the start end, so maybe they're going to move that up.
Move it up, yeah.
Oh, what's this? SLS plus Aberdeen Dolphin
South
Club
Lanarkshire.
of the Year,
Yeah.
2022.
I don't know if it's South Lanarkshire themselves that have stuck that bit up above it.
Yeah, it looks a bit like it. Or maybe Aberdeen Dolphin have graciously acknowledging South Lanarkshire.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't think they're both Club of the Year, though. I think they just sit in the same spot.
Okay. University of Aberdeen in that section there. And there's the Warrender group in the distinctive red. So we still just wait patiently, just a bit of stretching going on. Limbering up. Bruce Halloran there on his mobile. Come on, you should be concentrating on what's going on, Mr. Halloran. There's the first team.
Officials there waiting patiently as well. The finish end.
Yeah. Oh, now we're getting some sound back. But again, we've got some signs of action from that starting equipment. It looks like it's getting fixed, courtesy of our producer here at Stream Scene. He's the only person who knows how to get things done in this place. Mr. Johnson, take a bow. So here we go. After that wait, hopefully we can now really psych up. The crowd is getting behind these boys, and that's great to see because they had that frustrating wait, but they're ready to go now. So it is Glenn Liversedge, Anatole Gies, Cammy McMillan, Callum Struzik, Theo Sterica, Cole Murphy, Josh Nicol, Ewan Nielsen, Finley McDonald and Scott Brodie. And pushing on strongly in lane 4, Theo Sterica. So his big sister is a great sprinter, and he's looked like he's got some of those genes as well. Coming up strongly in lane 4 for South Ayrshire. He's going to take the win pretty comfortably here. So Theo takes the win in a time of 28.95. So clearly the delay did not affect him one jot. He's over a second inside his entry in a freestyle. That's big. So he takes heat 1. There's your lineup for heat 2.
Yeah, I said I wondered if anyone could break under the 30. Theo broke under the 29. Took us by surprise. So
yeah,
yep.
Did you ever doubt it?
His coach and dad Byron will be delighted with that, as I'm sure Theo will be. As we move on to the second heat. So from 0 through to 9, we have Ali Hattab, Tom Massey, Arthur Templeton, Miller Cunningham, Lucas Innes, Lucas Snowden, Ryan McLaughlin, Cameron Mather, Thomas Robertson and Logan Warburton. No delays for these boys, thankfully, and off they go. So 28.95 is the quickest time so far, and a really good start here in lane 2. Thomas Massey, the Alford swimmer, but also going really well over in lane 7. Cameron Mather, Inverclyde. And it's the Inverclyde swimmer now who's stretching out into the lead, and he's looking very good for this, unless there's a late comeback from somebody else. And it's very close to call now. There's a few swimmers just moving up there, possibly lane 4. Oh, Cameron Mather takes it, 28.91. Great swimming there again, well under his entry. Good second or so. Lucas Innes in second, 28.99. Miller Cunningham in third, 29.09.
So 400s faster than Theo Sterica in the first heat. There's going to be fine margins sorting this out as to who progresses to finals. Reminder, of course, all 14-year-olds, no 13 or 12-year-olds in this event. Heat 3, we've got Riley Griffin, George Smignevsky, Dexter Suter, Elliot Stephen, Tyler Spalding, Callum Forsyth, Finley Hiddleston, Ethan Abernethy, Kyle Saunderson and Clark Malkin Gill. 28.8 to 29.3 the range of times here. So this, you would think, will be a little faster than we've seen, the 28.9s we've seen. So off they go. Really tight to call it as to who's going to take the win from there, but now you can see the wider angle. You can see that they are really, really close here. Lane 5 was sending off to a good start. Callum Forsyth, has he got the edge? Can he hold it? If he has, it's really close, but I think it is Callan who is just going to bring it in. He needs a good strong finish. He gets it, 28.20. So it was a good bit faster, 7/10 faster than the previous heat. And he takes the win from Tyler Spalding in second and Elliot Stephen in third.
0.7 off entry for Callan. So a great swim there again. And that's the quickest so far as we move on to heat 4. And from 0 through to 9, Rory Keegan Ward, Tyler Coots, Matthew Piatek, Lewis Lothian, James Kilpatrick, Atanis Irinkov, Owen Bitchin, Hamish Maxwell, Archie Lorimer and Aaron Drake. Good start in the middle lanes, particularly lane 4. James Kilpatrick from Carnegie, he's looking strong at the moment. We'll see if any other swimmers can come back towards the finish here. Does look like James might take this one, and he is stretching out in front as he takes the touch, 26.28. Fantastic swim there from James, takes 0.2 seconds off his entry. Atanas in second. I didn't catch third place there, not sure if you did, Duncan, but again that was a considerably quicker heat, down in the 26s, low 26s.
2 heats to go, and in heat 5 we've got Lewis Maxwell Pauls, Kyle Mossman, Harris Woodward, Dylan Mitchell, Callum Stewart, Connor Aspinall, Alfie Price, Fraser van der Merlen, Callum McKenzie and Max Miller. So these are the circle seeded heats, so no surprise to see heat lane 4 going out strongly. This time it's Callum Stewart, the Highland swimmer, National Age Group champion last year, and you can see why, because he is dominating this one. He is well clear here. That's a cracking swim, 25.62. We're really picking up the pace there. Fantastic swim there. Really pushing it on. So that's a tough ask for the final heat to try and go faster than.
That's quicker than anyone on entry in the final heat. Quickest in the final on entry is Zane Salah, 25.94. But 0 through to 9, Kai Fern, Adam Merrick, Edward Hodgson, Kyle Harper, Zane Salah, Lachlan Small, Finlay Bruce, Conan Swinney, Cameron Beck and Aaron Russell. But it is a cracking start in lane 4 from Zane Salah. Alongside Zane, Lachlan Small, and it's these two boys in the lead at the moment. It looks like they are stretching out here, looking very, very good. So 25.62 is the time to beat so far, and we'll see if they can do that. 25.61, 100th ahead. Lachlan Small takes it. Great swim, 25.61 and 25.98 for Zane Salah. Kyle Harper in third, 27.21.
So do you think we're going to get a good final in this one?
I think we might.
I think we might too. Look at that, 25.61, 25.62 in the summary at the front. Zane Salah's time was the third fastest, also in the 25s, followed by James Kilpatrick there in the low 26s. And as we scroll down, because it's just the top 10 who will progress through with 2 reserves. So we have the girls 50 freestyle up next, so that will be fast and furious as well. In this one we have got, how many heats? We have got 7 heats. 5 go in the first of them. They are Beth Kelly, Hannah Yao, Abby Mitchell, Lucy Hunter, Peyton Forbes. It was Lucy Hunter had that terrific 400, wasn't it, earlier?
It was, yep.
So they're all in 31s entry times, and it is lane 6, Peyton Forbes, who got the best start. The Bucky swimmer, you can see her there at the top in the blue, but now pushing on as well. On the other side is Beth Kelly of Warrender. Almost an inverse arrowhead here as they come in. Who's going to get the touch? I think it might be Peyton, is it? Ooh, it is. I thought that was in trouble there.
Never in doubt.
30.82 against 30.83 for Beth.
Yeah, that was a close one, all right. 100th.
Again, good PB.
Okay, so heat 2. Amy Hislop, Jasmine Robertson, Kirsten Hislop, Lexi O'Brien, Isla Petrie, Lisa McNair, Madison Leach, Helen White, Anna Beetham and Iris Ware. That's our lineup from closest to furthest away. And off the blocks there, it looks like Isla Petrie who got the best start, and also Madison Leach looked good off the blocks there. It's really close though, right out there in lane 8 going well. Anna Beetham also lane 0, Amy Hislop. And Amy Hislop is now coming through really strongly towards the finish. I think Amy might take this. See if she gets the touch. Oh, she'll be challenged there, and she does. 30.32 for Amy. Isla Petrie in second. 36.2 Ellen White. 39.1 in third.
This is where we have the advantage over the venue commentators, because they really have to stretch over the balcony to see that lane 0. We could see it on the screen, so we're fine. We could see that Amy was winning that one comfortably, and a great swim from her. On to heat number 3. Ava Laidlaw, Lola Mitchell, Olivia Watt, Evie Lamont, Iona Hickson, Katie Gillies, Kirsty Seavright, Eva Robertson, Anna Dunlop and Imogen Barrett. Times here on in the low 31s, and this time it's lane 2 pushing it out. One of the 3 Brock swimmers, Olivia Watt, then is taking the initiative here. Coming up in lane 4, though, is Iona Hickson of Mulgai and Best End. She's maybe just edged past at the end there. And it is Iona who takes the touch, and she gets under the 30. She'll be happy about that. So Iona entered on 31.02, so more than a second knocked off that. And 30 seconds, always a good target to try and get under. Iona has just done it.
A lot of times we'll be in the green over these first 3 heats, meaning the swimmers have taken time off. As we move on to heat 4, from 0 through to 9, Juliet Kidd, Isla Whetton, Elena Sanderson, Ella Cunningham, Eva Smith, Anna Campbell, Anna Service, Maya McCallum, Eva Kay and Olivia Caldwell. And the swimmers have just been told to step down. There's maybe just a bit of interference and noise, which meant they couldn't start, but we're about to go on the second attempt. So the entry times here go from 30.63 through to 30.98, so really not much in it off entry times. Good start in lane 3, Ella Cunningham, City of Glasgow, but it's really close right across the pool. Looking across to lane 8, Eva Kay looks good, but it's really difficult to call. But coming right through in lane 5 now, Anna Campbell. I think Anna Campbell is going to come through to take this one, and she will. Anna takes it 29.73, so another sub 30 second. Quite safely under the 30. Ella Cunningham 30.07 and Eva Smith 30.26. So a good PB there by Anna Campbell. Taking about almost 0.8 seconds for entry, in fact more than that.
So into the circle seeded heats now, we have in heat 5 Jessica Hill, Chloe Semple, Daisy McInnes, Ava Ross, Molly Irvin Watson, Sadie Llewellyn, Rani McIntosh, Chloe Kirk, Leonie Bebra and Abigail Clark. So there should be more separation between the swimmers in this one. The range of time 29.1 to 30.6 across the pool. Good start in lane 5 from Sadie Llewellyn, Hamilton Aquatic. She's certainly been around the leading contenders throughout the 3 days of competition, but now pushing on in lane 4 is the free swimmer Molly Irvin Watson, and it's looking set for Molly now. So from Dumfries and Galloway, she takes the win in 28.37. So she takes quarter of a second off her time and sets the standard for the next 2 heats. Sadie Llewellyn second, Daisy McInnes in third.
Okay, so we'll move on to our penultimate heat and our second circle seeded heat. So we have from 0 to 9, Cara White, Eva Markle, Emma Binney, Ailey Melrose, Lucy Oliver, Lexi Lamont, Ellie Wilson, Ciara Finlayson, Caitlin Reid and Emily Dawson. So we'll see if we can see that arrow shape forming. Well, it's not that obvious sometimes in a 50 metre, but having a cracking start in lane 1 is Eva Markle. She went off really well, but coming through now in 4, Lucy Oliver, Darlington swimmer, and also outsider Lexi Lamont from Aberdeen. But it looks like it will be Lucy Oliver who comes through to the finish line first. And Lucy Oliver is going to take this in a good time as well, 28.53. Fraction outside her entry. That's still enough to secure that heat win. Ellie Wilson, second, 29.20. Lex Lamont, third, 29.25.
So the last of our 50 freestyle heats. Heat 7, we have Isabella Cohn, Annabella Scatterty, Kate Nolan, Madison Stewart, Anna Lawson, Jessica Kirkwood, Abby McInerney, Emily McDougall, Lucy McLaughlin and Lacey Padfield. 28.33 up to 30.5, the range of entry times here. So 28.37, the time to beat if you want lane 4 in the final. Good start from Anna Lawson in lane 4. She has the fastest entry time, 28.33, so if she can match that time, she will have lane 4 in the final, and certainly looking to take this one on. She is well clear. The race is about second now. Lanes 2 and 5, I think, Kate Nolan and Jessica Kirkwood, but Anna Lawson dominant here, takes the win. Well, we'll need to get her time because it's not come up on the board there, but well, I think it was a pretty fast one, and there it is confirmed. So 27:85, so that is comfortably the fastest time to qualify for the final. Anna Lawson, very much a speed sprint specialist from East Lothian, so she'll have enjoyed that. That was half a second inside her entry time that she set pretty recently in East District age groups. So we'll certainly be seeing her in the final.
Sub 28 seconds for 13-year-old. That's impressive swimming.
Yeah, nice stuff. Just running back to the boys 50 free. And the finalists for that one: Lachlan Small, Callum Stewart, Zane Salah, James Kilpatrick, Atana Sarinkov, Matthew Piatek, Connor Aspinall, Lewis Lothian, Owen Becken and Alfie Price. And Kyle Harper and Dylan Mitchell will be the reserves in that one. Going to presentations now. Looks like we're nearly ready, I think, for that. So this is the presentations will be coming up for the girls 400 freestyle. So we'll see the 11 to 13s and the 14-year-olds going on to the box. There's a little bit of sorting out going up in the corner of the pool there, far corner. But you can see that little group over there, just making sure everybody gets onto the right spot on the podium. It looks like it's going to be Alison Lowe, head coach at Aberdeen ASC and former Scottish Champions Swimming Association president, who is going to make the medal presentations, and here they come onto the podium. Looking pretty good about things. So the bronze medalists: Lily Mundell of Hartlewood Lothian for the 11 to 13s. And in the 14-year-olds, it's Emmy Aitken from University of Aberdeen Performance. The silver medalist in the 11 to 13 age group is Amber Hinton of Dumfries. And for the 14-year-olds, it's South Lanarkshire's Evie Mackey. And the gold medalist in the 11 to 13 age group was Alice Harper of City of Glasgow. And it's Sarah Kravis from East Lothian swim team, gold medalist in the 14 age group. And she's looking pretty pleased with it.
Really good swim there. It's good swims for all the girls.
So photo time.
You can all squeeze up there into the first place podium.
So that's our one presentation. So far we will have another presentation at the end of the session because we've got the 1500 freestyle to come. I can just also confirm before we get swimming again who made it into the girls 50 freestyle final. And they are Anna Lawson, Molly Irvin Watson, Lucy Oliver, Sadie Llewellyn, Daisy McInnes, Jessica Kirkwood, Ellie Wilson, Lexi Lamont, Caitlin Reid and Abby McInerney, with Kate Nolan and Jessica Hill are two reserves.
Okay, now we're on to the boys 100 metre breaststroke. And there are 9 heats in this event, and there's 3 swimmers in the first heat here. Lane 3 we have Sky Kaubunchai from University of Aberdeen Performance, 4 Leighton Bonner in Clyde, and 5 Mark Sterling from First. All 3 swimmers in this heat are 13 years old. Quickest entry is Leighton Bonner, 1:33.20. Quickest out so far is Sky Kaubunchai. And at the halfway point, he will be in the lead. Split 42.21 over 42.70.
So yes, half a second advantage for Sky. 42.21 in the white cap. Looking pretty strong for this one. So just the 2 lengths of the pool, of course. 1:34 entry time, so with a 42 first 50, I think you can be pretty confident that he's going to be well inside that. First, you get a view of the kelpies on the first cap. Very distinctive cap design, because kelpies in the Falkirk area, which is where first come from. So Mark Skirling will take second for first, but behind Sky, who takes the win in 1:30.38, so he improves by over 3 seconds. So getting us off to a good start in this 100 breaststroke.
Yeah, good swim there. What you didn't see off camera was a secret admirer coming up and taking her picture, which is why we were slightly distracted halfway through it. On to heat 2.
I didn't know you had secret admirers, Stuart.
I think it was you, Duncan. I was just getting in the way.
I don't think so. So on to heat 2. Thomas Vakulitz of Hearts in 0. Jakob Papelbaum of Aberdeen Dolphin in 1. Harry Aberdeen of South Aberdeenshire in 2. Rhys McMillan of Renfrew Baths in 3. Harry Cook of Aberdeen Dolphin in 4. Daniel Rose of Aberdeen in 5. Lockie Bullock of Shetland in 6. Julian Schott of Carnegie in 7. And Logan Moffat from Kirkintilloch and Kilsyth in lane 8. Entry times here 1:31, 1:32s. And this is pretty close here as we come up to the turn. Lane 3, Rhys McMillan. Lane 7, Lockie Bullock. Who gets the touch? It's neither of them. It's Harry Aberdeen.
I'm not sure about that.
Right?
I don't think it registered.
Hit that road coming through as a 42.4 there, but it certainly looks like he was well inside that. So, yeah, I don't think my eyes were deceiving me, or yours, if that makes sense. So lane 3, Rhys McMillan, the Renfrew Bath swimmer, and lane 7, Lockie Bullock, the Shetland swimmer. They, I think, are going to decide. It looks to be in Rhys's favour. Well, it's getting a bit close, but I think Rhys will take the win, and he does. 28.63, second half inside the previous heat, so nice stuff there from Rhys. Entered on 1:32, so takes a good 3.5 seconds off that. I'll see huge PBs all afternoon. Yeah, of course, these youngsters, you'd expect that, I guess. They're peaked for this event. They're still young and improving, so PBs are the order of the day.
Still growing every week, an inch taller, something like that age, aren't they? So we're on to heat 3. Lane 0, Matthew Jack, Renfrew Baths. 1, Finlay Morris in Rocklide. 2, Fraser Muir, Carnegie. 3, Nebby Singular from Highland. 4, Max Kelly, Geary. 5, Ruben Lees, Warnder Baths. 6, Zach Witherhead from South Aberdeenshire. 7 from the same club, Finlay McClellan. 8 is Andrew Lowe from Steprock. And 9, Lance McMahon from Helensburgh. He's starting 7. So not 7, sorry, 3 I should say. 2, Dexter Suter. Got it the third time. Dexter Suter from Lerwick. Yeah, my eyes were deceiving me. And also over in 8, actually, it's Lance McMahon. And 9, 41.52. I think that was around about the same pacing as the last heat, that never came up on the board. So this should be fairly close to the same time, 128, 129 or so, if this continues. So Lance McMahon was first, and second over that first 50 metres, Fraser Muir. And Fraser Muir looking strong now. Still these two out in front. So Fraser Muir, Lance McMahon. Battle of Carnegie versus Helensburgh, and coming through strongly as well now in lane 5, Ruben Lees from Warrender, and he's having a late surge towards the finish, and I think Ruben might just take this, and he does. 128.42, so a 0.21 quicker than the previous heat from Lubin Lees. Lance McMahon 128.51, Fraser Muir 128.54.
That was some finish from Ruben, wasn't it, to come through, take it by 900ths.
Great finish, timed it well.
I think Lance must have thought he had that one. It was not to be. So on to heat 4, Alfred Storer, South Aberdeenshire in 0, Lewis Bray of Inverclyde in 1, Dexter Souter of Lerwick in 2, Craig Hartley, City of Glasgow in 3, Elliot Stephen of Fauldhouse in 4, Archie Lorimer of Clitheroe in 5, second Fauldhouse swimmer Lucas Innes goes in 6, Magnus Kirkpatrick of Orkney in 7, Boyd Fernside of East Lothian in 8, and Archie Redfern of Lerwick in lane 9. So 3 swimmers from the Northern Islands, 2 from the Shetlands, 1 from Orkney in this one. And it is the Orcadian, Magnus Kirkpatrick. That's a good Magnus, a good Orcadian name.
Orcadian? I didn't realise that's what you call people, Martin.
Every
day is a school day.
So it is Magnus, 39.82. That's our first time under 40 at the halfway mark. Lewis Bray just over the 40, 40.02. So it's pretty close. Lane 1, Lewis Bray is looking strong here, but I think Magnus still has the edge. The City of Glasgow swimmer, Craig Hartley, not far away as well. So these 3, one of them will win. Which one is it going to be? And it looks like it is Magnus Kirkpatrick. So he led all the way through, and he's been safe and secure in his final 50 and taking it pretty comfortably at the end, actually more comfortable than I thought it was going to be as they came down that second length. So 124.05 for Magnus, Lewis Bray second, Craig Hartley third.
Great swim from the Orcadian.
There you go.
Yep.
There's a new word for your vocabulary. Exactly. You're going to be using it every day now.
Quite proud of that, even though I stole it from you. Yeah, but 4 seconds off entry there, so that was great. So on to heat 5. In 0, Aviv Doughton, Ren 96. 1, Cameron Mather, Inverclyde. 2, Kenneth Traynor, South Lanarkshire. 3, Matthew Lessigang from Menzies Hill. 4, Lyndon Farty from Montrose. 5, Teolich Adam, Pear City. 6, Scott Brodie, Inverclyde. 7, Angus Woods, Kintyre. 8, Archie Stevenson from Best. And 9, Michael Gavin from University of Aberdeen Performance. Great start in lane 4, in fact both lanes 4 and 5 from Lyndon and Teolich. Also going well over in lane 9, Michael Gavin. So it is Lyndon 37.77. That's the quickest we've seen by a good way. And Michael Gavin 38.76, so about a second behind. So good gap opened up already between 1 and 2. So we'll see if Lyndon can keep this going. So Lyndon Montrose swimmer, 14-year-old, entry time 125.9. And he'll be well underneath that time. And he's looking very strong at the moment, and already he will not be caught. Him through possibly for second, right in the far side, Michael Gavin. As if he's maybe just nudging into second place, but it's still all up for grabs, but no doubt about the winner. Lyndon Farty, 125.8. And it's Teolich Adam who just nicks it there at second place, 124.25. Angus Woods in third. 124.
71,
71, it was just blocked by my with something in front of the screen there.
So if we had an Orcadian winning the previous heat, was that a Montrosian that won that one?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
A great swim from Lyndon there. Taking the win, 120.58, big PB. So on we go to heat number 6. Brogan Smith of Cooper in 0, Liam Warner, East Lothian in 1, Alexander McNiven Warrender in 2, Alejandro De Bella of Hearts in 3, Austin McPherson of Geary in 4, George Spignevsky of Stranraer in 5, Tyler Spalding of Carnegie in 6, Alex Scott of East Lothian in 7, Tom Massey of Affordotta in 8, and Alex Cantley of South Aberdeenshire in lane 9. So 124s and 125s the entry times here, so they'll have to go some to match Lyndon's time. 120.58, pretty close at the halfway turn. Was it the Hart swimmer? Yes, it was. Alejandro De Bella just taking the touch, 38.85, but that's a second back on the previous heat. He leads by 3/10 from Austin McPherson, with Brogan Smith in third. On the left-hand side of your screen, now the bottom of your screen. Also up there in the yellow cap still, Austin McPherson. Liam Warner working hard in lane 1, trying to get into third place, but still it's Alejandro in lane 3, holding off Austin McPherson down into the final 5. So it's going to be the Hart swimmer taking the win. Entered on 124.90, takes that down to 121.16. So good 3.5 second plus improvement for Alejandro. There's the summary. Austin McPherson second, Alex Cantley in third, just ahead of Liam Warner.
So moving on to Heat 7 now. This is the first of our seeded heats. 0, Joe Crawford from Scotia. 1, Alfie Price, Orkney. 2, Logan Warburton, Blackpool Aquatics. 3, Lewis Lothian from East Lothian. 4, Fraser van der Meulen, Stirling Swim. 5, Kyle Connolly, City of Glasgow. 6, Callum Stewart, Highland. 7, Luke Thompson from Bathgate. 8, Murray Gallagher from Warrender Bass. And 9, Lucas Snowden from Aberdeen. So watch out in these middle lanes. These should be the boys who go clear and take this one, although it doesn't always happen. These are the ones that are seeded first. So Fraser van der Meulen, Kyle Connolly, and they are locked together at the moment. Fraser just a fraction quicker on entry, 1:15.83, and he's 35.7 at the turn, and that's a very quick first 50. He's only 0.08 seconds ahead though of Kyle Connolly, but he did have a really good turn there, and he's moved further into the lead now. So Fraser van der Meulen looking strong. Can Kyle mount a comeback here? So Fraser and Kyle now going stroke for stroke towards the finish. In third place it looks as if it will be Joe Crawford from Scotia, looking very strong in lane 0, closest to the camera. But Fraser van der Meulen will come through to take this one. So 1:15.83, will he come under that time? Yes he will, 1:15.65, so takes a little bit of time off his entry. Kyle Connolly, 1:16.57. Joe Crawford, a really strong second 50 for him, 1:18.55.
Yeah, good tight contest there between Fraser and Kyle, but there was never really any doubt that Fraser was going to take it. And he did, just inside his entry time. 2 more heats to go. In Heat 8 we have Callum Forsyth, South Ayrshire in 0, Miller Cunningham of Glenrothes in 1, Tyler Coots of Shetland in 2, Harris Woodward of Portobello in 3, Fraser Dow of Perth City in 4, Finlay Bennett of South Lanarkshire in 5, Fergus Reid of Geary in 6, Clark Malkin Gill of Inverclyde in 7, Ryan Crabb of Red 96 in 8, and Kai Fern of Aberdeen Dolphin in lane 9. So Fraser Dow will be the one to keep an eye on here, the Perth swimmer. Winner of this event last year as a 13-year-old, now looking to win as a 14-year-old. Very fast through, 33.81. That's nearly 2 seconds faster than the previous heat. So he has got a pretty healthy lead here over South Lanarkshire's Finlay Bennett. Finlay was 4th last year, 2nd in the West District Championships. He's certainly got 2nd sorted. It looks like it's the Portobello swimmer, Harris Woodward, in 3rd, but they're pretty well stretched out here, and that's largely due to the pace of Fraser Dow, who's completely dominant here. So 1:13.3 entry time. Is he going to be inside that? Of course he is, 1:11.67. 4 seconds faster than Fraser van der Meulen's time from the previous heat. So that certainly sets a tough target for the next heat 4 seconds clear of Finlay Bennett in second place. Harris Woodward another 4 seconds back in third.
Great swim there. As we move into our final heat. So, lane 0, Rory Keegan Ward, City of Glasgow. 1, Riley Griffin, Airdrie Moncton. 2, Rory Vick, Warren Bass. 3, Cammy McMillan, Renfrew Bass. 4, Dylan Mitchell, Warren Bass. 5, Lachlan Small, Stirling Swim. 6, Aaron Machin, City of Glasgow. 7, Duncan Curry, University of Aberdeen Performance. 8, Stefan Nastjukes from Stranraer. And 9, Ewan Nielsen from Cumbernauld. So keep an eye here on Dylan Mitchell in lane 4. He's got an entry of 1:13.05, but right next to him and keeping up so far, Lachlan Small from Stirling. He's about 2.5 seconds slower on entry, but doesn't look like that at the moment. So it is Lachlan Small who turns first, 34.65. Not quite as quick as the previous heat. And Fraser Dow, we've got a second off it. But it looks like both of these boys are kicking on now in these middle lanes, and there's no doubt about who's going to be 1 and 2. There is a battle going on for third place. Possibly Rogan Kieran Ward in 0, or it could be lane 2, Rudy Vick. But out in front here, now in the red cap, from Warrender, Dylan Mitchell is trying to catch up with Lachlan Small, and will he do it in the touch, or will it be Lachlan? And it's Lachlan who gets it. 1:12.53. Over 1:12.83 from Dylan. So a really close finish there. In third place, Rudy Vick, 1:19.32.
That was a good PB from Lachlan, enter 1:15.85. Not a very old time either, done at the West District Championship, so good stuff to take that down to 1:12.53. But he'll need a bit more if he's to challenge Fraser Dow there. You can see the top 10 through to Harris Woodward, so they're all definitely going to be in finals. Then the younger ones will pick up final places, top 10 in the 12 to 13s, 11 to 13s to be precise, but I don't think we've got any 11-year-olds swimming. So that was a cracking 100 breaststrokes. I think the star of the show there was Fraser Dow with his really good 1:11.67 swim. So he'll fancy his chances tonight in the final. 200 butterfly is next. So we'll be going to that very shortly. Just scrolling that result in the venue. I think we've finished that now, so it will be 200 butterfly. Just the 3 heats in this one. Not too many people opting for the 200 fly, so right from the start we'll be doing the circle seeded heat seeding. Fairly rare to do that in a heats and finals event, but that's what we've got here. So looks like we've got 9 swimmers in this first heat, and then there'll be, I think, 9 and then 10, so 28 swimmers altogether. Will go down to 20 for our finals. So off we go. Hannah Yao, University of Aberdeen Performance in 0. Rebecca Reid of Warrender in 1. Ciara Finlayson, City of Glasgow in 2. Beth Kelly of Warrender in 3. Evie Mackey of South Lanarkshire in 4. Amy Rowell in lane 5 for City of Glasgow. Peyton Forbes of Bucky in 6. Charlotte Craig in lane 7 for Ren 96. And Katie Ray of Geary in lane 8. And look at this, lane 4, Evie Mackey. Well, she is having a terrific meet, as she usually does, to be fair, in meets around her age. And she is dominant here through into the second 50. Can you see anybody getting anywhere near her, Stuart?
Nope. No, it's a storming start. I think the seeding is definitely telling at the moment. I mean, Evie is a bit of an all-rounder as well. She took the silver in the 200 back and bronze in the 200 breast. So, yeah, looking very good in the fly here. She likes these 200s, it seems. So 1:10.78 at the halfway mark. So Evie's entry is 2:35.10. So you can't see her unless she really ties up. You Can't see her not breaking that time.
Yeah, because we've already seen her on the podium in the 400 freestyle this afternoon as
Of
well.
course,
Silver medalist there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, if she can medal in the fly, she'll have the complete set of all
That's
4
right.
strokes.
That's right.
And you wouldn't bet against her based on what she's doing at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly to be right up there. Second place is Hannah Yao, who's going nicely in lane 0 down the bottom of your screen. And then it's the 2 red caps, Rebecca Reed of Warrender and her teammate Beth Kelly in lanes 1 and 3. So they are contesting third. And well, we said this before, but you'd rather be third than fourth when you're trying to get into the final. But what a great shot that is. Fantastic work from our cameraman there as we come down the last length for Evie Mackey.
A very natural stroke. She just seems to kind of glide through the water. A lot of swimmers by this point in the race, you see them tying up and struggling towards that finish line, but it doesn't look that way for Evie. She could go for another 200, it seems.
I don't think she'd thank you for that.
No, probably not. 2:35.87. So she is just a fraction outside. I thought she would come under her entry, but still a fantastic swim, and she'll be very safely into the final later on.
Strong last length from Beth Kelly there, taking second place. Amy Rowell also, she was well back early on, but came through for third. So a great finish from Amy to go past both Rebecca Reed and Hannah Yao in that last length. So nice stuff there.
Yeah, great finish in there. And we'll move on to heat 2 now, out of 3. In lane 0, Anna McCarty and Reclyde. 1, Lucy Hall, East Lothian. 2, Kalia Smith, or Kalila Smith, I should say, Aberdeen Dolphin. 3, Emma Burrell, Mid Lothian. 4, Zara Kravich, East Lothian. 5, Abigail Crawford, City of Glasgow. 6, Emma Binney, North Ayrshire. 7, Caris Gerris, Lerwick. And 8, Abby McMillan, City of Glasgow. Can any of these swimmers challenge that time? 2:35.87 from Evie Mackey.
Well, we've seen what Zara Kravitz has done in some of the other events, including that 400 freestyle that she won earlier this afternoon. She goes in lane 4 with Abigail Crawford beside her. There's not much between them at the turn. Zara just getting the touch, 34.45, but that is a couple of seconds back on Evie Mackey's time. I'm not sure you could read too much in that. These swimmers will be confident of lanes in the final, and 200 fly, you don't want to take too much out of the body at this stage in the proceedings if you don't have to. So we'll see as this goes on. And there's Zara Kravitz just starting to open up the lead over Abigail Crawford. Zara's form in this one, silver medalist in this event last year, East District Age Group champion, junior finalist in the Edinburgh International, so she's got a good pedigree in this. 1:14.93, but still a good way behind Evie's halfway split.
Yeah, and it's sometimes quite difficult to ease off in a butterfly, even a 200.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, so I'm told. So my daughter tells me. Yeah, but Zara looking quite strong here. She's just upping the pace a little bit over this 50. And Abigail Crawford looks fairly secure in second, although coming through in lane 3. Emma Burrell, and she's gained a little bit of ground, so she's almost a second quicker of that previous 50. But Zara Kravitz, I don't think she'll be giving up this lead.
So we saw that shot from Evie. Now we got the chance to see it from Zara, and it's great to see these fly swimmers head on like that.
She'll probably still be able to puff from that 400 free as well.
Yeah, well, both of them were in it, of course.
That's right, yeah.
And so Zara bringing this in, and I think that counts as job done. The clock not stopping, but it looked like it may be about 2:37. 2:40.56 for Abigail, and Emma 2:44.51. Showing it's 2:45 for Zara, but that will get changed. So I'm expecting to see 2:37 or thereabouts. So just wait for that to be sorted out. I thought I saw a 2:37 just slotted up there. And when the result comes up in full, we should see that.
Yep. I don't think she'll be too happy looking up at a 2:45. She'll be wondering what's happened.
It's a little bit of a delay while they sort that out. And that may be to do with the adjusting the times. Maybe there's an issue somewhere else as well. 2:37.35 I'm seeing on the venue scoreboard. So that would be 2 seconds slower than Evie Mackey, assuming that is confirmed. I think hearing rumours that there might be a disqualification coming in, but we'll just need to wait and see if that is the case.
Unfortunately, yes, you can see disqualification in that last heat, lane 0 for a technical infraction.
So it is Hannah McCarty, unfortunately, who is disqualified.
So we'll move on to our third and final heat. In 0, Charlotte Chain, University of Aberdeen Performance. 1, Millie Searle from Geary. 2, Lola Mitchell, Broch. 3, Freya Keeling, Carnegie. 4, Lucy Oliver from Darlington. 5, Emma Aitken, University of Aberdeen Performance. 6, Amber Hinton from Dumfries. 7, Madison Stewart from University of Aberdeen Performance. 8, Josie Grimes, Warren Baths. And 9, Ruby McInnes from North Ayrshire. And look at that start in lane 4 from Lucy Oliver. Our favourite for this one, 2:28.9, is Lucy's entry. So she's stamping her authority on this one already. Well clear over the rest.
You certainly feel that it is going to be the three swimmers, Evie Mackey, Zara Kravis, Lucy Oliver, who are going to be contesting the final here at the front of it, all 14-year-olds. Evie Mackey's time at the halfway mark was 1:10.70. I don't think Lucy's going to match that. She's miles away from the others, but 1:11.83, so that's faster than Zara but slower than Evie at the halfway mark. Second place. Well, we're not seeing too much of second, but I can tell you it was Emmy Aitken as we focus there on Lucy. Now we're getting a really good side view of her technique, which is pretty solid. Lane 8 now. Josie Grimes has moved up into second ahead of Emmy Aitken. So the Warrender swimmer from the outside lane is putting in a stormer here in her bid to move through. She's also 14-year-old. We have the younger swimmers here, Charlotte Sheen, Millie Searle, Freya Keeling, and Ruby McInnes up at the top of the screen. She's well back. Lucy Oliver completely in control on 54.11.
Yep, looking very strong towards the finish of the race. So 2:28.9. I don't think she'll be under that time, but she'll be very securely into the final. So there's a 2:35 from Evie, and she's 2:37.38 for Lucy Oliver. So good strong swim there, and coming right through on in lane 8, Josie Grimes from Warrender. She managed to hold that lead right the way through that last length there, so that was impressive. Amber Hinton came through in third place. Good finish from Amber. 2:47.91 was her finish time.
Yep, so good PBs from Josie and Amber, particularly Josie, 7 seconds inside her entry time. Lucy Oliver there, 2:37.38, so just 300 slower in the end than Zara Kravis, and it will be Evie Mackey who will have lane 4 in the final with her 2:35. So we'll get that confirmed as we see the summary. So that's the summary of that heat, heat 3. Oh, we have another disqualification, unfortunately. Freya Keeling is disqualified there. So there are your top 10. So 235s and 237s. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, that should be a cracking race later on.
So we go to the 1500 freestyle next. I know this is your favourite event, Stuart, so I'll just take a back seat here and let you get on with it.
Yeah, we're kind of slowing down the pace a wee bit from, you know, the couple of 50s, then 100, then a 200 fly. Now to the 1500 freestyle. So, long old event this for 13 and 14-year-olds. 2 heats in this event. So the first heat, we see Cam McMillan 4 is a 14-year-old, all the others are 13. So I'm just waiting to kick off this one. And there's maybe just a little discussion happening about something technical going on at the side of pool.
We also have the important job of deciding where to place the lap cards at the other end. Do they want them on the right? Do they want them on the left? Do they want them in the middle? Swimmer gets to choose. We've got an empty lane here, lane 2. Ryan Crabb opting out of this one. So the swimmers we have got, Oscar Geary of Step Rock in lane 0, Ewan Line of Morpeth in 1, Adam Selby of Finns in 3, Cammy McMillan, Redfrew Baths in 4. As Stuart said, he's the 14-year-old in this first heat. Aidan Anderson of Aberdeen Dolphin in 5. Nikolai Cisnet, City Glasgow in 6. Blake Herbman of Inverclyde in 7. And Andrew Patterson from City Glasgow in 8. We have 4 more 13-year-olds to go in this next heat, so no medals will be decided in this first heat. But these 13-year-olds will want to post good improvements on their entry times, which range 19:31 up to 20:50. And it's the edge with lane 6, Nikolai Cisnet, who is having a really strong meet. Beside him, Aidan Anderson, Aberdeen Dolphin. They train up at Robert Gordon's College, or university now, I guess we call Robert Gordon's University. Just up the road from here.
Yeah, 936 over the first 100. And Nikolai, as you say, Duncan having a very strong meet so far. And again, he seems to be one of these guys who likes a few different events. He's taken gold in the 100 back and also the 200 fly. Moving up well in lane 6 is Nikolai, 147.97. So not much in it between himself and Aidan over that last 50. So Aidan Anderson in second, and in third, Cammy McMillan.
So fairly close between the 2 front runners. Nikolai in 6, Aidan in 5, and they're just about stroke for stroke now as we come to 200. But I think it might be the Dolphin leading. It is only by 200, though, 225.79. So around about 116 pacing. Can also now confirm for you the finalists in the 200 butterfly for the girls. There'll just be 9 in the final with those 2 disqualifications in the 11 to 13. So those 9, Amber Hinton, Kalila Smith, Amy Rowell, Rebecca Reed, Charlotte Craig, Katie Ray, Millie Searle, Charlotte Sheen and Ruby McInnes. And in the 14-year-olds, the finalists will be Evie Mackey, Zara Kravis, Lucy Oliver, the 3 we were talking about earlier. And they'll be joined by Abigail Crawford, Emma Burrell, Abby McMillan, Josie Grimes with that big PB, Emmy Aitken, Lucy Hall and Emma Binney, and Beth Kelly and Hannah Yao we'll be hoping for some withdrawals. Or maybe not on a 200 fly.
I was thinking maybe they're done for the day. Yeah. It's a tough old event, 200 fly. Nikolai in the pool, still just a fraction ahead. I noticed that Aidan has just upped the speed a little bit. Nikolai was getting away from him and he pulled it back, but again, a really good turn from Nikolai. Seems to be very strong on the turns and transitions, and then through the length and on the surface, Aidan tries to just haul it back in a little bit. But these two are well clear.
Yeah, it's a tough job to do that every length, because it means that you're swimming harder than the other person. If they can get that benefit every time consistently in 30 turns, 29 turns to be precise, then that takes it out of the other swimmer. Yeah, just having to work that much harder than the one with the better turns.
Yeah, there he goes again, slightly better off the turn there. Nikolai. Some swimmers, you just notice they do like getting up to the surface, don't they, as quick as possible, when others really use that underwater in these longer freestyle events.
You'd think you could, longer you can use that underwater fly kick, the better on the whole. So this is good for both these guys, because what you want is a good competition. 4:57.94, 4:58.65. So still on the 116. So pacing a nice consistent pace here, these two. Again, you can see Nikolai just getting that advantage again. And this time it does look like Aidan is struggling a little bit to close it down. He is a bit now as they come up towards the next turn, but he's having to work hard to do this every time. And you wonder how long he can keep doing that. It's a good race for third as well. Lane 4, Cammy McMillan there in the dark cap, and in lane 7, Blake Herdman. So that is Renfrew Bath against Inverclyde, fairly near neighbours. And not far behind them in lane 3, from the east side of the country, Adam Selby of Finns. Finns based in Kirkcaldy and Fife.
Yes. Still all to swim for. Back there for third. Again, it's a similar pattern over that 50 there. This is if Aidan uses the, each board at the end of each length as a little booster to speed up, and then this maybe drops back a little bit, and off the turn Nikolai pushes ahead.
It's actually slightly faster on that 100, under the 116. So he's clearly feeling pretty good at this stage in the race. They won't have swum this too often, these swimmers, both in the 13 age group, as Stuart said. Just Cammy McMillan, 14-year-old. He's out of shot at the moment, but we'll come into it shortly. There he is in lane 4, still having his battle with Blake Herdman in lane 7. They're just getting away a little bit, I think, from Adam Selby, but focusing on the lead, and that lead is just gradually building now. And Aidan, it probably would be a mistake for him to overwork this to try and stay with Nikolai, because he would pay for that, I think, later in the race if he tried too much here. You're better trying to get to a nice steady pace that you can sustain than to try and force the issue. Staying with the leading swimmer, and again Nikolai increasing his pacing here, so that was under 115 that time, so he is really ramping it up. You see there in the City of Glasgow cap, and there you get a clearer view of what the lead is, and see as they're going through the red. So that red is 5 meters long, so you can see probably about 3 or 4 of those meters now taken up in the lead.
So the gap is just widening a little bit. And as you say, Duncan, it looks as if Aiden's just working that little bit harder, faster stroke rate. Nikolai's got that sort of long flowing stroke. Doing a lot of good underwater work there. Obviously, it's not easy by any means. But, he's still looking quite comfortable just now. Aiden is the keeper in touch. He's not. He's lost maybe half a second again off that previous 50, maybe a second off the 100.
So another under 115. So Nikolai still looking very good here. So not too much going on in the legs. So much more leg action from Aiden. Whereas Nikolai just really using it as a balance and just to those little flutters. So Nikolai's objective here, I think, will be to give something for the 4 remaining 13-year-olds that are coming in the second heat, something serious to think about. They'll all waiting at the blocks there. You can see them all there. Will be going in the next heat, so they can see exactly what's going on here. They're not stuck in a call room not knowing what's happening. So they can see that Nikolai is putting in a strong performance here. And credit to Aiden, he is hanging in there. You see 37s there and pretty much the same 50 splits. So we saw the butterfly head on pictures. Now we're getting to see the freestyle. Look how streamlined that head is. Even when he breathes, it hardly moves. So he struggled to find where he finds the air.
I was thinking that there. How's he breathing? Yeah, there you go. You can just see his head coming up the side there.
Thought he's got a secret snorkel. But no, that would not be a good idea.
Yeah, it looks. Again, the legs at this stage aren't moving very much. Well, Nikolai's legs aren't, but you can see Aiden's legs working a bit harder. Just trying to keep in touch there. Quite often you'll see in these 1500 events that the legs hardly move at all until the sort of back end of the race.
So 900 meters done, 11:12. So we're about pretty much to exactly 115 here. So the pace just dropped a tad. See, most of the gallery is emptied out here. There's not too many 1500 aficionados. It's the hardcore who are still here. And probably the parents of the swimmers who are swimming here, who will follow their children through thick and thin to see them swim. Yeah. What's it like being a swimming parent? I've forgotten, it was so long ago.
Oh yeah, it's got its ups and downs. Sometimes I think it's mentally just about as difficult for the parents as their swimmers in the water.
I think that's right, because you've got to get that right balance, isn't it, between supporting your swimmer when they're down, congratulating them when they're up. You know, when they do have a bad day, you've got to be on their side, not criticising.
Yeah. It's a tough old business.
So through 2/3 of the race, 12:28.43, and the pace is dropping. That was a 1:16, so he was at that sort of pace early in the race. He got it down to sub 1:15s, but back to 1:16 now. I don't think that's going to make any difference in terms of the gap between the two guys, but well, let's just wait and see.
Aiden's just made up a fraction of maybe probably less than a second, but over that previous 100 he's made up a little bit of ground. As you say, not that much, but again, Nikolai looking strong with his fly kick there, coming off the boards. Trying to see where we are with third place. I think it's Adam Selby is in third spot at the moment. So Adam, also 13 years old, Finn swimmer.
So 400 to go at this turn, 13:44.10. So getting it under the 116 again. So I could do the maths if it's 115s, because 4 lots of that is 5 minutes. So that would be 18:44. So probably not being quite at that pace. So add a couple of seconds on, 18:46, then take them off again for the sprint at the end. Back to 18:44. So if he can do that, I think he'd be mighty pleased. 19:33 is entry time. So we'll see whether that comes true at all.
I'll be mightily impressed if he comes in at 18:44 after that estimation. There's definitely logic in these calculations, though.
So you can see there, 37.6, 38.6, the gap. Still that long stroke and that streamlined head, streamlined body. So very nice distance swimming technique from Nikolai. So we need him to be coming in at around the 15 minutes here, maybe slightly under. And he's right on cue, 14:59.81. He's a good lad.
Yeah.
15:05. This is a great swim also from Aidan, so don't be misled by the fact that he's in second place. The Dolphin is putting in a really good swim here. He's entered 19:33, the same sort of time as Nikolai, so he's also going to post a big improvement. And, you know, they've got an enormous lead, haven't they, over the others? And they've had to work hard to earn that. You can see no one anywhere close as we wait for the swimmers to come into shot, coming back the other way. And we're going to have to wait a while for that, because there's coming up towards lapping. And there's lane 3, Adam Selby, who you'll see there just now coming in. He's just ahead there of lane 7, Lake Herdman. So they're having a good contest, but they are, you can see, something like 1.5 lengths behind our 2 leaders. So they are completely dominant. 16:15 there, 78. So again, about a 116. So let's see if he can start to ramp it up. When is the time to go? Some of them wind it up gradually. Others keep steady pace and then put whatever they've got left into the final 50. It does look like Aidan is picking up his pace a bit. That stroke rate, I think, I mean, it's been quite a fast stroke rate all the way through, but it looks to me like he's picked up the pace a bit.
It does, yeah. Let's see what. Yeah. This pace is still slightly slower than Nikolai.
But he was about a second slower, so he's now only 2/10 slower, so that does support my theory. He's not, clearly he's not going to catch Nikolai, but he is pushing on his strategy now to start to go out.
Oh, yep. Aidan will be posting a good time here. He'll be well underneath his entry time as well.
So the bell sounds for our leader, 17:31.
See if he's got anything left in the tank here to just push on towards the finish.
So Aidan went through. 17:36, so still just 5 seconds back. So coming up to his final turn, Nikolai Cisner, 18:08. So let's see what he can come back in now. Let's see if that stroke rate does increase. What's going to happen with the legs? Not a lot yet. Is he going to get them going full throttle in this last half length? Well, no, maybe not.
Doesn't look like it.
It's a little bit.
He's sticking to a good thing. So, what was your prediction, Duncan? 18:44?
It was.
It's not going to be far away from that.
So in he comes.
Well, there you go.
Oh, what about that? 18:44.76. Fantastic stuff from Nikolai. Big improvement. And here comes Aidan in 18:52.83. So great swims from both those guys. Down from 19:33. So what's that? 49 seconds, is it, for Nikolai? And 18:52 from 19:33. So that's 41-42 seconds for Aidan. So brilliant performances from both those two.
Great
and now
swims.
we've got this race for third.
Yeah, this one's been a battle the whole way through as well. So we'll see if Adam can hold off Blake, but it looks as if Blake's now left a bit for the finish, and he was pacing about 2 seconds behind for the majority of that race, and now he's come right through at the end. So Blake Herman will take third.
So he was entered 2022. I think he'll be well inside that. Nothing coming up on the board, so we'll just wait for confirmation of his time. Seeing 19:48 on the venue scoreboard, and Adam Selby 19:51. Adam's entry time 19:33, so he's a little bit off his time as we see the remaining swimmers coming in. There's Oscar Geary still to finish his race from lane 0. Step rock swimmer, St Andrews. And here he comes.
Well done.
In fact, Oscar Geary there, he was well behind the others, but he was inside his entry time of 20:50, so 18-second improvement. You can't argue with that.
That's quite a fascinating race. Let's move on to our final one. Our final race of this session. So this is Heat 2. Lane 0, Kenneth Traynor, South Lanarkshire. 1, Aaron Machin, City of Glasgow. 2, Kyle Connolly, City of Glasgow. 3, Harry Whitfield from Darlington. 4, Connor Aspinall, East Lothian. 5, Archie MacArthur, Inverclyde. 6, Fergus Reid from Geary. 7, Daniel Henry, City of Glasgow. 8, Austin McPherson, Geary. And 9, Billy Trapp, Mount Kelly. So, quickest on paper, Connor Aspinall. Connor is 18:05.7 entry. And we have Connor is 14, and the 13-year-olds in this are Aaron Machin, Harry Whitfield, Austin McPherson and Billy Trapp. Quickest 13-year-old entry is Harry Whitfield, 18:08. That's an impressive time. If you can match that in this heat.
Yes, so that 18:44 from Nikolai should be capable of being beaten based on these entry times. Certainly by Harry Whitfield. The others will have to do PBs to match that time. But it's Connor Aspinall, the 14-year-old, with the early lead, 104.86. See there in the black cap to the right of your screen. And now you can see he's got just around a body length advantage, maybe a little bit more, from Archie MacArthur in lane 5. And you can see the relative speeds there, 35.2, 36.0. Others in the high 35s behind Archie. Connor is certainly pushing this one out pretty strongly.
It's a fast start, 104.86 over the first 100. So Connor not hanging about here, trying to take that early lead. We'll see what the split is here. So 2:14.81. So about a 108 split there.
You can see Harry Whitfield's split there in 5th place, 2:20.26, is 5.5 seconds faster than Nikolai's from the first heats at the moment. Swim there in lane 3 is our leading 13-year-old. So the ones to keep an eye on, lane 1, Aaron Machin. Lanes 8 and 9, Austin McPherson and Billy Trapp. You can see there Austin in the yellow cap up the top of your screen. Billy a fair way back, so he might struggle to be in the contention for medals unless he can pick it up strongly. But on the 14-year-olds, Connor and Archie, and then anyone's race for 3rd at the moment between Fergus Reid in the yellow of Geary and Daniel Hendry beside him in the dark blue of Glasgow. So 3:25.21.
About 108, 108.5 or so. And 100 pacing there from 200 to 300 for a leader. So already at these early stages, Connor looking very good for this one. We'll see how things progress. So Harry Whitfield up from Darlington in lane 3, the quickest 13-year-old on entry here.
It was about 8.5 seconds faster than Nikolai Cisnet split at the 300. So things continuing to go well for him. He just needs to not to worry too much about the 14-year-olds in this race. Just him and the clock.
Looks like a good battle there for 3rd place in lanes 6 and 7. So Fergus Reid, Daniel Henry. Out in front there, Corin Aspinall, 4:36.93. So just moving up into the sort of 109 territory. Previous 100. Nice shot there again. Very smooth stroke. Again, quite a low head position there.
It looked like he just lifted it after the camera left, did he? Or did I imagine that? So 5:13.07, so 36 pacing. So we're on sort of 111s, 112s for the hundreds. His lead, about 7/10 picked up again to expand his lead some more. That race for 3rd just going Daniel Hendry's way at the moment. You can just catch him on the right-hand side of your screen, and now you can't. There is East Lothian coach just giving the encouragement to Connor through 500 metres, 5:48.88. So still sort of 111s territory, 111, 112. So certainly looking pretty good here for Connor Aspinall.
Yeah, that was 111. Previous split was 111. I think I said 109, so I was getting ahead of myself there. 111's more like it.
Yeah, he's been pretty steady around that pace. Harry Whitfield still comfortably faster than Nikolai Cisnet's pacing. He was at 500, he was 6:01 against Nikolai 6:13. Just check out on the other 13-year-olds. Austin, Aaron. So Aaron's sitting 7th. So 6:48 at 5:50. So I think he's probably just ahead of Nikolai's time, because another City of Glasgow swimmer, he'll want to beat his teammate, I'm sure, particularly if there's a medal in it, which there probably is.
Yeah, and looks like Aaron is just upping the pace a little bit as well. He seems to be just increasing that speed over that previous 50, although he's just dropped back a little bit now, but it will ebb and flow as the time progresses. Here we go. Conor Aspinall pacing around about the 112. It's a 36-50 split there, so you would think it'd be around about 112 unless this is him going downhill now, and that was uphill.
Yeah, we had that discussion this morning, didn't we, in the 1500s?
That's right.
The uphill part of the course and the downhill part. Aaron Machin's time is pretty close to Nikolai's, isn't it? It's a couple of seconds faster. So he will need to keep his pace going if he's to get that silver medal. It's certainly looking good at the moment for Harry Whitfield to get the gold. But we will keep tabs on it, and it's certainly looking very good for Conor Aspinall to get the gold. You'll be keeping track of golds and silvers. What's Conor's scores on the doors at the moment?
Well, I know that he has a bronze in the 100 back. I don't think there's been any other events that he's been in the podium, but that was a good achievement in that event. So, yeah, looks to be definitely getting up there again for something shinier than that. And again, I think he's pacing around about the 111, between 111 112.
Yeah, he's really consistent pacing. We're now into the second half, coming down from the 750 turn. So we saw the shots of Nikolai earlier, now we've seen the shots of Conor, and again keeping that head position really streamlined. So it's always about putting in as little drag as you can to maximize the efficiency of the stroke, and he is certainly doing that. 9:24.04 again, 1:11.4. So you can see now that the gap has really stretched out between him and Archie MacArthur. Just see Archie into shot now. So what's that, about 13 meters probably. Yep. Here comes third place. Not really talked about Kyle Connolly too much, but he's going nicely in third now. Has got a bit of a gap over a good contest going on between Fergus Reid and Daniel Hendry, fourth and fifth. So there's around 3 seconds advantage for Kyle over those two, who are just 4/10 apart. As Conor goes through 900, 10:35.37. Metronomic pretty much, 1:11 and change every time. 10:46 for Archie. Check out the third place position, so 10:56 for Kyle, 10:59 Fergus, 11:00 for Daniel, Harry Whitfield 11:02. So now just 10 seconds faster than Nikolai, so his pace perhaps dropped a bit. Let's see what Aaron Machin is, 11:14, so he's now dropped behind Nikolai Sisnet's pace by a couple of seconds, so he needs to pick it up if he wants the bronze. But let's focus on Conor Aspinall here, getting this fantastic shot. Look at that bow wave in front of his head there. Just shows the speed that he's going at. You don't get really a clear view when you've got the distance view, just how fast these guys are going. If you're walking out the pool alongside them, you realise before long you're puffing and blowing alongside the pool, just walking it.
Yeah. And again, that's a 1:11, just over 1:11 pacing, so very consistent. He's not dropping that pace at all. So with an entry of 18:05, Let me go away and work out the maths.
It's your turn.
I'll wait till the next 100 and I'll give it a go maybe. So we'll have 400 metres to go.
Yeah,
If it hits the next wall.
I think we may be looking around the 1740 territory.
Yeah, so if it's
18:05 is entry time, so that would be a nice improvement.
yeah. There
you can see Archie MacArthur in second place as Connor goes through 12:58.62. A bit closer to 112 than 111 that time, so just dropping a little bit of pace in that 100. Not much.
Yeah, but he should certainly, in this pace, be well sub 18. Somewhere around about 17:45-ish. We'll see.
So third place still Carl Connolly from Fergus Reid. We're not really seeing too much of them. You can see there that we're starting to lap. That's Austin McPherson in the yellow cap is going to be lapped.
Kyle Connolly's well clear in third place now. He's going through the gears. So 300 to go, 14:10.
Still on those 111s.
Yep.
Now has about 20 metres, probably a bit more than 20 metres of a lead. There is that for the first time in a while. You just saw there a gap between Fergus Reid and Daniel Henry, who have been scrapping away all the time, but Fergus just opened up a bit of a gap there in fourth place, ahead of Daniel in fifth. Check on Harry Whitfield again, 14:49. So he's still ahead of Nikolai Cisnet by about 10 seconds now. So that lead has dropped a little bit, that notional lead, but it's still a pretty substantial 10 seconds. So he's very much still looking in pole position to take the gold in the 11 to 13s. We'll get some shots of Harry, I'm sure, at some point in the proceedings. He's in lane 3, so just below the two yellow lanes. So as Connor comes back, we should see Harry coming through at some point here.
1:11.91 pacing there. So again, staying under the 112 mark.
There you can see Harry coming back up through past the halfway marks there. Harry Whitfield representing Darlington.
So we'll see what Connor can do here over the last 150. See if he brings the pace up slightly. Very consistently pacing between 111 and 112, always under 112.
Again, the East Lothian coaches there, encouraging him on. And there is the bell.
Should be pleased to hear that.
Yep, every distance swimmer's favourite sound. 16:31.53, so he's picked up his pace there, yep. Sub 110.
So I did say 17:45, I think he's going to go quicker than that. See what he's got left here.
So, entry time 18:05. He's going to go roaring through the 18-minute barrier. 50 metres to go. 17:06, that was a 35.
Yeah, that's you're talking a sort of 110 finish at that pace. But
so let's see, can he go under 17:40?
he's certainly going to challenge it.
Coming up, 10 meters to go. The clock in for the low 17:30s. I think he is going to be under 17:40.
Great finish.
Fantastic stuff from Connor Aspinall. 17:37.70. So a convincing performance right from the off. Dominating proceedings.
A 106 for that last 100, so he had something left in the tank.
Yeah, that was brilliant stuff. Now here comes Archie MacArthur. See, he will get the silver medal with this swim. Let's see what his time is. 18:03.06 for him. Yep. So he knocks 10 seconds off his entry time. Third place, Kyle Connolly in lane 2. So we should be seeing him shortly coming in.
Yep, that's him.
And he is in 18:12.59, ahead of Fergus Reid in the yellow 18:24. All these swimmers inside their entry times. Harry Whitfield there 18:29.72, so in the end he was 15 seconds faster than Nikolai Cisnet, so he does take the gold, and he must have picked up the pace nicely towards the end. 18:49.47 for Aaron Machen, so he's behind Nikolai's time, so I think it'll be bronze for Aaron. Billy Trapp and Austin McPherson, 2 more 13-year-olds still to come in. They're in the yellow cap. His gear is Austin McPherson. So he comes up at the top of your screen there, and here is Billy from Mount Kelly College down in the southwest of England. So he's working his way down. He's had a bit of a struggle today, but comes in 19:37. Not that far away from his entry time. So there is your summary of Heat 2, and then we'll get the overall summary. So Connor Aspinall there, 17:37.70. Okay, so I'm told we won't get an overall summary, but I can tell you that it was certainly Connor winning there in a convincing performance from Archie and Kyle, the 1, 2, 3 for the 14-year-olds. We'll see them on the podium shortly, and they'll be joined by the 11 to 13-year-olds. Just waiting for confirmation of who they are, but I think they'll be Harry Whitfield, Nikolai Cisnet and Aaron Machen, but just waiting to get that confirmed.
Yeah, we'll see if they can get their breath back before making their way to the podium.
They're young, they're fresh, yeah. They can recover so quickly.
Yeah, we're not jealous at all.
I am. You might not be.
No, I am. Yeah, great swimming there. Great to see these young swimmers over that 1500 metre distance.
So while we wait for this, can just remind you that we'll be back on air at about 5:10 for a 5:15 start. So you've got a little bit of time to relax before we do that. Of course, we still have this presentation to come.
Yep, some swimmers there, having a little snack between the heats and the finals, possibly.
Just in case you didn't know where we are, that's where we are, Aberdeen Sports Village. It's a fantastic facility, this. We've got this 10-lane, 50-metre pool, and then you go over the bridge and you've got this magnificent sports centre. Indoor running tracks, indoor football pitches, outdoor running tracks, lots and lots of gym stuff, lots and lots of other facilities. You name it, Aberdeen Sports Village has got it.
Yeah, it's a great facility. I think the first time I was ever up here, I made the mistake of parking at the wrong side. Took me about half an hour to walk through the place to get to the pool. So, yeah, but it's a good facility, and I know that the swimmers enjoy swimming here as well. So we'll just be waiting for the presentation to take place now for that final event there at the boys 1500 metre freestyle. And there they go, the swimmers.
So we got the presentation there. And again, it's Alison Lowe making the presentation for us, former president of the Scottish Amateur Swimming Association. The bronze medalist in the 11 to 13 age group from City Glasgow is Aaron Machin. Yep, that's me.
Yep, just reminding them. That's me that's getting it.
And it's his City of Glasgow teammate Kyle Connolly who takes the bronze for the 14 age group. So 2 from Glasgow. Kyle looking pretty happy with that. Silver medalists 11 to 13's Nikolai Cisnet. That was a super swim from Nikolai, and a really good swim as well in the 14 age group from Inverclyde's Archie MacArthur. I did like the Inverclyde tops, very classy. And now we've got the gold medalists, Harry Whitfield in the 11 to 13s and Connor Aspinall in the 14-year-olds.
Yeah, well done to the boys.
And Nikolai picks up the Scottish title because Harry is not a Scot. So he gets 2 medals for his troubles.
That's nice.
So lock arms.
So picking up a gold medal from that first heat, that shows it can be done.
Yep, brilliant stuff. So that brings our afternoon session to a close. Hope you've enjoyed the swimming. We've enjoyed it. There Victoria's confirmation. We will be back 5:10. Swimming will start at 5:15. But for now, from Aberdeen Sports Village, from Stuart and myself, Duncan McKinnell, will wish you a very good afternoon.
Good afternoon.